for 120 yards. But he's had 88 yards lost in sacks. So officially he's got 30 attempts for 32 yards. Now we know that he ran quite well last week, but after having all those yards that he rushed last week, he still only has a total of 32 yards net. So he's been under great he's been under a lot of pressure, and that kind of it also explains he's only completing 54% of his passes. And I don't think he completed the pass in the second half last week. And so that's one of the things that we really need to take a look at tonight is how well that offensive line is going to give him a chance to find his receivers. Now, good side, and I'll stop talking here in just 1 second, but the good side is that we are averaging 169.5 yards rushing per game. And so that's far ahead of where we were last year. So our run blocking has been a lot better than our pass blocking so far.
It has, and, I look down, even with the sack yardage factored in, as a team, the Golden Lions average 5.3 yards per carry. That's not too shabby at all. And when you look at the main ball carriers, Chad Reed, 7.5 yards per carry, Buck Usry, 5.8, Day-Day Brooks, 5.8. I mean, if you're averaging 6 yards to 7.5 yards with your running backs, that'll win you a lot of football games and move the chains quite a bit.
Well, that's true. And when Shelby made this big switch, to the spread offense, I talked that entire first year about how the wonderful thing about the spread is that if you spread your receivers out and people have to worry about those receivers, then you don't have to run against those 8 men in a box defensive fronts. And one thing that Shelby did really well Monday night in the second half of that Central game, when it got really close, it got a little bit scary. Shelby went to a couple of formations that forced Central to really spread their men out, and then we did a great job of running after making those changes. And so that's to be you can chalk that up to the spread offense. And for all you guys that are oh my gosh, I wish we'd go back to the way it was and run that ball almost every play, the spread really makes it easier to run if you've got to worry about the pass.
Yeah, and, you look at the Shelby stats, it's pretty balanced yards-wise, passing and rushing this year. But like you said, the penalties have stalled some drives, given us some third and forever type situations, and it's taken us out of good field position at times too. So, you wonder if Shelby can't just cut down on those penalties, will the rest of the offense click like we were used to seeing and what we saw last year? But, even with all that said, 37.5 points a game isn't too bad, especially against the likes of Polk County, AC Reynolds, South Point, RS Central. Not very bad competition. So, we're harping on a team that's playing pretty good football. It's just if they are to live up to that 2AA state championship season from last year, they've got to get some small things corrected, and they've got some time to do that still.
And the good news, as you said, this is the 5th ball game, and hopefully we'll have 16 ball games this year. So we're, if we're going to have that, if we're going to make the state championship game, we're not a third of the way through, and this is the second conference game. Now, as we mentioned last week, this is another doubly important conference game because it is a 2A school that we're playing, the Chase Trojans, and as long as you win all your games against the 2A competition, then you're going to have a good seed when it comes time to figure out your playoff route.
No doubt. Last week, though, a little bit of a scare, really. We played the first of those 2A opponents in RS Central. There was a point in the game where Shelby had a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter. We were a little bit nervous, and that's when as you mentioned, Shelby kind of went to the run when RS was shutting down the pass. We saw a tight end in the ball game. We saw a fullback in there. I think we even saw a 2 tight end set at one time. And Shelby had a couple of really good drives keeping the ball on the ground, and that included R.J. George carrying the ball a few times and put together a couple of touchdown drives and sealed that victory last week.
And not only did R.J. carry the ball, one of those touchdowns was truly hold your breath, guys. I mean, you might want to sit down. It was a triple option. We were running out of the shotgun, but it was truly a triple option. I talked to the coaches after the game, and I thought he read whether to hand it or keep it, and he did. And so he read that he needed to pull that ball, and he pulled it, and he had a man in his face immediately, and he made a perfect pitch. And that was 4th and goal. And for the first time this year in a game, we ran the triple option, and the quarterback had to make a very quick pitch, and it was a perfect pitch. And we had a really good stalk block by the split end, and we walked that into the end zone, and that was a huge play. And if you've got to start worrying about the triple option on top of the 6 or 7 other things that we do, that's just some good news for Shelby.
Well, again, keys to the offense tonight is for Shelby to cut down on those penalties and mix the pass and run equally well and keep that running game going. Let's take a 3-minute break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the keys to defense for Shelby tonight, and we'll do that after this break.
At a time, you can get 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Kia models. That's right, get 0% financing for up to 60 months with approved credit. Come on in and see Ronaldo Kia for all the details, but hurry, the offer ends soon. Call 704-406-8100 or shop online at RonaldoKia.com. Ronaldo Kia, 4425 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. 0% financing for up to 60 months with approved credit. Check out the new storage buildings at the Roundup store in Shelby. Come see the new vinyl siding storage building and the new T111 wooden siding building. And the Roundup store's wooden buildings are built to last and last. And check out their line of beautiful kitchen cabinets. Make your dream kitchen a reality. The Roundup store, 1610 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 8:30 till 5:30 Monday through Friday, 8:30 till noon on Saturday. Online at roundupshelby.com. For over 100 years, the Stamey Funeral Home in Falston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added a new cremation center along with their new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. And they want to take this time to invite you to their open house Sunday afternoon, October 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Falston, and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville.
Here, lizard, lizard, lizard.
Oh no, it's total mayhem.
Hurry, call your good neighbor.
You can't. They're not even there.
Why, they can't even lend a good hand. Oh. Relax. At Pigram Insurance, we've got you covered. Pigram Insurance Agency, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and in the Town and Country Shopping Center in Lincoln. Considering hardwood flooring for your home? Then head to Flooring America in Kings Mountain or Carpet One Interiors in Ranlow. Right now at both locations, you'll find a big selection of in-stock hardwoods on sale. Priced as low as $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. At Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain and Carpet One Interiors in Ranlow.
We all hear about how good the barbecue is in Lexington, Greensboro, and in eastern North Carolina. But here in Cleveland County, we all know that the best barbecue is here. At Alston Bridges Barbecue, Kent and Linda Bridges and their family make sure the staple of their restaurant is the best barbecue. Your choice, pork, beef, or chicken, plus delicious sides, such as slaw, beans, fries, and hush puppies. The best since Alston and Mabel opened in 1955. Alston Bridges Barbecue, 620 Grover Street, right here in Shelby.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby. Through the years, I've seen a lot of trophies and plaques, and none appear nicer than those which come from Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies. Their guarantee is not just a guarantee, but a promise for courteous service, the absolute lowest price, quality products, on-time delivery, and most of all, your satisfaction. Awards for all occasions plus rubber stamps and engraving. That's Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
Carolina Energies is your heating and air service experts. They service all brands and feature complete installations. 24-hour service is available with on-call technicians. And this spring and summer, keep your family comfortable with a peace of mind service plan from Carolina Energies. It will keep you cool and save you money on costly repairs. For more information, call 704-482-9561. Carolina Energies, 515 North DeKalb Street in Shelby.
But still, they've been able to work on it this week.
Yeah, they've been able to work on it. Hopefully it pays off, and Shelby can be good on the defense. The captains for the Golden Lions tonight, a quartet of seniors led by Karan Lathers, also Caleb Jolly, Delvin Mitchell, and Nick Terrell. And Nick Terrell could be a good segue, Coach, into our Aura Supermarkets players to watch tonight. We were a little bit late last week and ended up giving them a halftime, but today we're going to be on top of things, and we'll start with the defense. And what's the keys tonight for Shelby?
Well, again, the keys tonight for Shelby would be to make the triple option, turn it into a double or single option, basically. Shut down either the fullback and the quarterback, or shut down the quarterback and the pitch back, or shut down the pitch back and the fullback. I mean, one or the other. You can shut down two of them and make them one-dimensional. And if Shelby can do that, that'll go a long way. And generally, when I was coaching, what we wanted to do was we wanted to shut that fullback down, because when the quarterback has to make that pitch, things can get awfully dicey. And so having said that, one of our Aura Supermarket players to watch, I think we're going to pick two of them to watch, would be Kent Clemens, number 90, and Nick Terrell, number 99, the defensive tackles, who will be tasked with shutting down that fullback.
And so Nick and Kent with a big task in front of them tonight. They'll get some help from Treshawn Borders, who will be rotating in at that spot. Offensively, we're going to go with Chad Reed, the senior running back who's put together a heck of a start to the season. He's got 457 yards and 7 touchdowns rushing, but he's also got 8 catches for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns in the receiving game. So Chad with... you count it up, that he's got over 600 yards of offense and 9 touchdowns in 4 ball games. Not too bad at over 150 yards a game and over 2 touchdowns. Shelby will count on him a lot tonight again. One other thing to keep in mind, Chase has got an injury problem. Boykins, number 7, their quarterback, Tyrell Boykins, he suffered an injury 2 games ago, and so they've been quarterbacked for the last 2 games by Gus Owens, number 2. But I got to watch him on film, and he did a really nice job. And I tell you what, Brent, they're getting ready to kick the ball off. The Golden Lions are going to receive. All right, that'll wrap it up for our Cleveland Regional Medical Center Stadium pregame show, and we'll keep it right here for the opening kickoff, a Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff. Shelby again will receive to start the game, which is something we see a lot if Shelby wins the toss, or pretty much every time Shelby wins the toss, that's what we see. And doing the kickoffs tonight is Omar Jimenez for Chase. He's a senior, 6 foot, 185 pounds, and of course back deep for the Golden Lions. A little bit of a change. I see Day Brooks back there with Jaden Borders, freshman and sophomore, and it's Brooks getting it at the 5-yard line, and he's up across the 20, and he'll get just across the 25 and brought down by Chase, and Shelby starts their first drive at about the 25, maybe 26, and it looks like they may just mark this right on the 25-yard line. Looks like the Golden Lions are going to start off on the 25-yard line, and Day Brooks with a nice return that time. He tried to be patient and let his blocks be set up, and he got it out to the 25-yard line. R.J. George in the shotgun, and he's back to pass on first down. He looks over the middle, but he goes up top, and he's got a streaking receiver. That's Jaden Borders, but overshoots him by just a hair, and it falls incomplete, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. So Coach Shelby comes out going deep on the first play of the game. Looked like Borders may have had a step, but just a little bit more air under the ball.
Just a little bit more, and I noticed R.J. took a pretty good shot after he released that ball. There was plenty of time to get it off because he threw that ball about 55 yards in the air, but he took a late shot. So let's take a look at how he's going to handle that.
Showing blitz is Phillips, and it's a handoff to Reed, and he's met early. He fights for a yard or two, maybe a yard and a half, and it's going to be a 3rd and long for Shelby, and they're going to give him just a yard. So 3rd and 9, and Shelby right away faced with a big 3rd down play.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Golden Lions quickly over the ball.
They've got 2 receivers right and left. Devin Gillette in the slot, and Chase again showing blitz tendencies as Austin Smith's creeping up along with 32, Stephen Phillips. And George is taking his time as the clock's down to 5 seconds, and Reed switches sides. And George back to throw. He's got good time, and he completes it. That's Jaden Borders on the sideline, and he's got first down yardage across the 40. So the chains move with the Pegram Insurance first down for the Golden Lions.
That was a very well-developed play. Jaden, who went deep the very first time that we threw the ball, then ran basically a curl pattern. He went about 10 yards and turned, and the cornerback had to really give him a lot of room because Jaden can motor. And it was a good pass, good catch, and good run after the catch.
And that's a 16-yard pickup. Shelby at the 42, approaching midfield. And it's a handoff to Chad Reed, and he's through the first line, and he's carrying some tacklers across midfield. And he's got a pickup of about 7, maybe 8 for the Golden Lions on first down.
Absolutely nothing unusual about that. We keep talking about how hard the Golden Lion running backs run, and Chad Reed, like I said, he got about 3 yards of that on his own.
And I'm going to give him 8 on that run. 2nd and 2. Shelby as they're just across midfield, and it's Reed again. This time he's met by a slew of Trojans, and he goes down right on the 50. It's actually going to lose maybe half a yard. The ball got loose on the ground, but the official blew it dead. It was recovered by R.J. George regardless, but now it's a big 3rd down and a long 2 for the Golden Lions. And Chase comes into the neutral zone. That's Phillips as he was showing blitz, and Shelby goes maybe with a hard count there.
Well, that's what's really nice about that is it sure is nice to see the Golden Lions get a penalty against the other team and take advantage of it with a first down. It's one of the very few times that the Golden Lions have gotten a first down due to a 5-yard penalty this year.
And with that penalty, the Golden Lions move into Chase territory at the 45, and on first down, George is back to pass. And he's complete over the middle to Devin Gillette, and he's got a Pegram Insurance first down.
Unfortunately, that's going to come back because number five, Chad Reed, was guilty of a hold that time. I was about to say one of the differences Shelby's doing this week is they're leaving a running back in to block. They've been running that running back out in the flat, and but they've been leaving him in, and Chad did a good job, but his feet stopped moving. When his feet stopped moving, his hand slipped outside the shoulders of the defender, and that's a no-no. And he got called for a hold, and it was a good call. And it's just something that Chad's not used to doing, and that's that spot foul, and so it's going to be about a 17-yard penalty.
It was, and the worst part of that is it negated about a 15-yard pass play over to Devin Gillette, and also bring up a 1st and 27, and on first down, off the fingertips of Jaden Borders over on the Shelby sideline, incomplete. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 27. And going back to that previous play, Coach, RJ did a great job of what we were a little miffed about last week is he got in love with the deep ball last week and missed some of those guys running these crossing patterns. That time he hit Gillette perfectly for a first down, but it unfortunately got called back. And on 2nd and 27, again, blitz from Chase. George eludes it, and he's going to take off, and he's going to get back about 8 yards from what he lost, and a flag comes in late, and there's only 4 Chase shirts there with George, so maybe a face mask.
It's probably going to be the 5-yard variety, and it is, but that will help. And so that was about that was a good, nice 8-yard gain by George, and then there'll be 5 yards tacked on to that. And even more importantly, the down remains second down. So we go from 2nd and 27 to 2nd and 14. Nice 13-yard gain when it's all said and done on that.
Yeah, I'll say so. Now a 2nd and 27 becomes a 2nd and 14, much more manageable for Shelby and 2 downs to do it. And again, Chase creeps up. George back to pass. Reed steps in and makes a good block, and RJ takes off. He's across the 50, 45, and down to the 41. It's a pickup of 8 again for RJ George.
Again, nice run by RJ. Does a good job of protecting the football as he runs. And again, Chad Reed did 2 straight plays now. He has picked up a blitzing outside linebacker. And the big difference in what he's done these last 2 plays is he kept his feet moving and he's kept his hands inside the body.
Well, that's a big guy he's blocking, too. Unfortunately, I don't have him on my roster. He's number 88. And super tall defensive end that he's had to pick up. I don't have him on my roster to tell you who it is.
We got a timeout called. It's an official timeout. Not sure what it is.
It's a 3rd and 6 for the Golden Lions. I wouldn't say a long 6, just a regular 6. And Shelby's showing a 3 wide receivers to the left look with Jaden Borders out wide, Devin Gillette, and then Caleb Jolly in the slot. And then to the right is just 1 receiver, Devin Gillette, with Chad Reed in the backfield. So 3rd and 6 Golden Lions from the Chase 41, 8:13 to go first quarter. Clock's ticking. Now it stops as there's another official timeout for a shoe problem with one of the Chase players. And that's that defensive end that's been giving Shelby trouble, 88. So now here we go. Clock back, starting 20 on the play clock, and Shelby back. In the shotgun is George, and he's going to throw it. He steps up in the pocket, and now he's going to be taken down for a sack back at the 44-yard line. But I believe
they're going to bail us out because number 88, and I do have his name now, that's Bruce Squires. Number 88 is Bruce Squires. He's going to be called for a late hit, dead ball personal foul, and that's going to really bail out the Golden Lions because it was going to be 4th and 10. Now it's going to be 1st and 10. Second time that the Golden Lions have gotten a first down after a penalty. So after putting the Golden Lions in 2nd and 27, the Trojans had a 5-yard penalty and a 15-yard penalty to help the Golden Lions to a first down at the 29-yard line. Chase 29.
Well, I saw the hit come in late. You know, it's still so close. You hate to see it thrown. Probably the right call. I wouldn't probably be saying that if it was against Shelby. 1st and 10, it's a long handoff to the left to Chad Reed, and what I mean by that is RJ kind of ran with him and then handed it to him from behind him out front, and Chase did a great job extending that play out, and it's going to go for just a short gain of a couple.
That's the outside zone, and if any of you guys used to watch Peyton Manning when he played for the Colts, they used to run that play a lot, that the quarterback runs a long way outside and makes a handoff, and it didn't work very well that time for the Golden Lions.
George back to pass on 2nd and 7, and he has an open Jaden Borders, but he throws it wide, and Jaden was only able to get one hand on it, outstretched, falls incomplete.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's thrown to Borders 4 times. Once he overthrew him by about 3 yards on a deep pattern. Once he hit him on a good curl pattern, and then twice he's just been a little bit high and wide on an out pattern.
3rd down, 8. Chase showing blitz from Squires, but Shelby backs off and looks to the sidelines for a new play. 2 receivers right and left. Chad Reed to his left. Jaden Borders goes in motion, and then flags come down as Shelby has a false start.
Yeah, big number 79, Jawan Taylor, backed up to do his pass blocking about 1/2 second early.
That's going to make it a 3rd and 13 and a half. And I'll tell you what, this is the opening drive of the ball game. We're already down to 7:08. This might be Shelby's longest drive of the season, and we've still got 33 yards to pay dirt. And a big 3rd and 13, maybe 14. George back, it's a blitz, and Shelby, it's picked off on the screen, and he's gone. That's number 10, Austin Smith, and he's going to go 60 yards for the touchdown. Chase, it was a design screen, and Shelby's line let Chase get through on purpose, but on the screen pass to Jaden Borders, the throw was a little bit short-armed, and it was tipped up in the air by Smith, who came down with it, and because RJ was hit as he threw, he was on the ground, wasn't able to make a tackle, and Smith goes 60 yards for the touchdown.
Big play, to say the least. Austin Smith, 5'7", 165-pound senior, takes it 60 yards untouched. Interception on a screen pass.
And just like that, Chase, without even having the football, goes on top. 7-0 on Jimenez's extra point. We'll take a 30-second break and come back for a Jim and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff with Chase leading Shelby 7-0.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaches. First base, third base, pitching, and catching. But when it comes to insurance, you only need one coach, an Allstate agent. They'll help you with your insurance game plan. Plus, Allstate agents can bundle your coverage for your car, apartment, boat, motorcycle, and more. So you've got all your bases covered. Are you in good hands?
Your local Allstate agency is the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance Agency, 404 Cherville Road, across from the YMCA in Shelby. Call 704-484-3463.
Back to Chase High School, and the Trojans come up with a big defensive play as Shelby drives it from their 25 all the way to the Chase 33 on over a 5-minute opening drive. But on 3rd and 14, R.J. George drops back and throws a screen pass a little shy of Jaden Borders, picked off by Austin Smith from Chase, and returned 60 yards for a Trojan touchdown. And Chase is up 7-0. 6:55 to go on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, Coach. And I guess if there's anything good, Shelby gets the ball right back and needs to put that play behind him.
Well, that's true, and it was a screen, and Chase did a great job of sniffing it out. Jimenez comes forward, and his kick is a low liner.
Taken by Day Brooks at the 10. He's across the 20 to the 30. And still plowing his way out to the 34-yard line. Shelby takes over in pretty good field position, but it was that last drive that looked pretty good. Help of a couple of penalties that gave Shelby first downs, but then Chase made amends for those penalties with that big interception return for a touchdown. Shelby takes over at the 34 on their second drive of the ball game. 6:47 to go. Chase leads Shelby 7-0, and it's a handoff to Buck Ussery on first down, and he's met in the backfield by a slew of Chase Trojans as the Shelby offensive line missed some assignments there.
Well, Chase does a lot of stunting, and if they pick the right stunt, it looks really good. And the last two plays, they have stunted perfectly. And, sometimes you just got to say, great defensive play.
Loses a yard back to the 33, and it's 2nd and 11 for Golden Lions. And the Trojans take a timeout. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with a 2nd and 11 play for Shelby.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson at Family Dental Care in Shelby. No matter the age, kids, teenagers, and adults, Dr. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson will take care of your dental needs. They have over 50 years' experience serving the people of Cleveland County. Call 704-482-3281 for Family Dental Care at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. That's Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson. Kids love them, and you will too.
Since 1919, yes, 1919, Griffin Drug Store in downtown Kings Mountain has been serving the people of the Kings Mountain area with the finest in prescription service. And be sure to come in and ask about the 10% senior citizen discount. And most prescription cards are honored at Griffin Drug Center, 129 West Mountain Street in downtown Kings Mountain. Since 1919. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 on Saturday. That's Griffin Drug Center in Kings Mountain.
Play for the Golden Lions, and they pass to the sideline short to Jaden Borders. He catches it, but, Coach, he gets only about 3 yards on that play as Chase was all over it after the catch.
Yeah, Jaden has been catching a number of really short passes and having to make his way after making the catch. So he's got a lot of yards after the catch this year. Unfortunately, a Chase player's down, so it looks like we're going to be ready for an injury timeout, Brent.
Yeah, let's take a 30-second break again, and we'll hope this injury's not serious and we can get this young man off the field. Back in 30 seconds.
Remember, it wasn't raining when Noah started building the ark. For all of your waterproofing needs, stay high and dry with a call to H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing. H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing does all types of waterproofing, from basements to crawl spaces, from commercial to residential. Call 704-482-2847, 704-482-2847 for H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing, East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
7-0. 6-0, excuse me.
Going to be another big third down play for Shelby. 3rd and 9, as Shelby hasn't had a good luck tonight on first down. And in motion goes Jaden Borders, and George is about to throw, and again gets heavy pressure, and he's going to be taken down. And actually, he keeps it going, and he completes it to Borders on the right sideline, and Borders makes a move, and he gets enough for the first down. So great job by RJ to elude the sack, and then not only that, he kept his eyes open and found Borders open on the sideline, and then after the catch, Jaden made a couple of moves that got him the yards necessary for a Pigram Insurance first down for the Lions.
And, with all that said, Chase has really come to play tonight. I mean, we're talking about how, Golden Lions, 3 different people made really big plays that time and picked up 12 yards.
12-yard reception on 3rd and 9, and more importantly, keeps the chains moving. That's Borders' 3rd catch tonight for 30 yards. And on first down, it's Buck Usry, and he's plowing for about 8 as the big senior running back getting it going.
And what's great that time is Golden Lions have had some difficulty, as you mentioned, on first down. We've been in a lot of 2nd and 9, 2nd and 11, 2nd and 10s, and the 2nd and 2 is a lot better.
It is 2nd and 2, and back in Chase territory at their 45-yard line. And Shelby quickly running a play, and it's a quick hitter to actually Chad Reed. And Chad maybe should have had that one. It was thrown a little bit low, and he had a little bit of a linebacker staring at him in the face, but still a catch that Chad makes most of the time.
Well, that's true, and another thing is that ball might have been tipped by one of the defensive linemen. The referee made the signal as if the ball had been tipped.
Now Shelby back in that kind of an eye look. Handoff to the first man through Buck Usry, and he stacked up for no gain, maybe a football length. And now it's going to be 4th and 2 for Shelby. Tell you, Shelby having a tough time moving that Chase defensive line off the ball tonight.
Well, we're at 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Clock is ticking, and the Golden Lions have been on offense the entire game except for the interception return, and Shelby's going for it on 4th down, or at least looks like they're going for it.
Well, they've got a T formation in the backfield with Reed to the left, Usry to the right, and now Shelby's going to call a timeout. Steve Roberts, let's take a 1-minute break and see what Shelby decides to do.
A child's life is so precious, yet all around us, children's lives are being destroyed by drugs. Take an active role in your child's life. Teach them that a healthy, drug-free lifestyle is their best choice. A word from Hooker Bonding of Shelby, our area's quality professionals, a name you can trust and depend on. Hooker Bonding is working today for a brighter tomorrow for our children.
Back from the timeout, and Shelby leaves the offense on the field. 4th down and 2 from just inside the Chase 45-yard line. And Shelby comes out with a look of RJ in the shotgun. 2 receivers stacked on the left, 2 running backs and 1 to the right. And it's a handoff to Chad Reed off tackle, and he's not going to get it. He's pulled down after a yard gain. And Chase is going to take over at the 44 as Shelby just again out of sync early, as they've had 2 drives that just got barely into Chase territory and then stalled out.
Well, now Chase is going to bring their offense on the field for the first time with 4:17 left in the first quarter, leading 7-0, and they got great field position. They're on the Chase 44-yard line.
Yeah, they barely even gave Chad Reed a yard on that play. They're going to measure.
Yeah, there's no reason to measure. I mean, it's definitely short.
It's a full yard and a half, maybe, at least a full yard. Closer than we thought, but well shy. Chase takes over on the 44, leading the Golden Lions 7-0, and fired up because that defense has done a great job on 2 consecutive drives. If you take away the 2 penalties, Coach, great defense by Chase.
Well, and the fact that they scored 7 points, there's not much else, not much you can say about that defense other than great job. Now, hopefully the Golden Lions can answer here.
It's Gus Owens under center, man in motion, and it's a handoff to the fullback, and Kent Clemens, and who's on the bottom of the pile? Siobhan Miller there for the stop, and they get big. Is that 32 Phillips? They get him in the backfield for a loss on first down.
That's about a 5-yard loss that time. And what I really liked that time is that the Chase offensive line was knocked back, and there was nowhere for the big fullback to go. So second down and almost 15. It'd be a really long 14.
Late coming off the field is Chase Lovelace, and in motion goes 88 Squires, and it's Owens calling his own number, and he gets about a yard, maybe 2.
Maybe a half.
He's pulled down.
that again, good job by the defense that time. They tried to run the good old-fashioned triple option with 2 tight ends, and there was just nothing. Fullback was taken. Quarterback got contacted pretty much as soon as he pulled the ball off the belly, and so that's just perfect defense. So third down and 14, really important down. I'd look for some type of play-action pass this time from Chase.
That looked like Dax Hollifield along with Clemens on that stop. Third and long, Trojans, and it's a pitch out to the back, and he's got open field 25, and he's got a first down. And that's DeAndre Kelly. And that time Shelby did not do a good job picking up all their assignments, as a 3rd and 13 is converted by the Trojans.
Well, again, that was the triple option just like they ran the time before, except that time the quarterback got it pitched. And when he got it pitched, really good arc block by the halfback, and good run that time. And so 1st and 10, Golden Lions are in a little bit of difficulty here. Chase on the Shelby 43.
16-yard pickup there, and on first down, Owens calls his own number, and Shelby all over it for no gain. Gary and Addison and Dax Hollifield, and that's the second time we've called the young freshman's number 44, Hollifield.
Again, excellent job that time. Now, I couldn't tell if the pitch man was covered, but didn't really matter because the quarterback was hit so quickly there was no way he could pitch it.
2nd and 10, maybe 2nd and 10.2. Just a hair of a loss. Squires goes in motion, and that looks a little funky, and he gets the handoff, and now he's going around the right side, and he's got run room. Pulled down from behind by Damian Key, but not until he gets about 8 yards on the carry.
Yeah, that's the jet sweep. They send him in motion, and the quarterback immediately hands it to him. It's a motion that's right behind the offensive line, and that's a tough play to sniff out because they're running the option look behind it. And so a good play by Chase, and so it's 3rd down and short now. Really another important play for Shelby. The ball just outside the Shelby 35. There's 1:30 left in the first quarter, clock ticking.
3rd and maybe 2, and it's the first man through, gets hit, and Owens keeps it, but Shelby gets him as well. On the stop there is Gary on Addison, and Addison's got to come off the field as he loses his helmet, but Shelby up to the task there for no gain.
So far, the Shelby Golden Lions have done a great job with the quarterback and the fullback. And it's been the halfback. The 2 times that Chase have had good yardage gains, it's been by the halfback. And Chase is going to go for it here on 4th and a short 2.
Quarterback and fullback have combined for 4 carries for -3 yards, but the 2 tailbacks, 2 carries for 24 yards.
inside of
nail
a
on the
minute.
head.
Inside of a minute, and the clock is stopped. It looks like Chase is taking their second time out.
All right, let's take a 30-second break this time, and we'll come back with this big fourth down play for Chase.
The Round Man, Okie Knipe, invites you into Okie's Tire and Service Center for all your tire and auto service needs. Okie gives you the best value in tires, both new and used tires, and they'll mount and balance your tires free. Come into Okie's Service Center for all your service needs, including radiator flush, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, and state inspections. Serving Cleveland County since 1978. That's right, over 35 years. Okie's Tire and Service Center, 800 West Warren Street in Shelby.
Fourth down and 2 for Chase. They're on the Shelby 35 squarely. Really, it's more of a 3rd and 1 look to it. And they already lead the Golden Lions 7-0, courtesy of a 60-yard interception return for a touchdown. And here they are knocking on the door again, but it's a big fourth down play coming up. And the left guard takes off for Chase early. And that's a 5-yarder.
I was just about to say, if I was Chase, I'd go on too. I would hope that my guard would know that I was going on too, though. So that's going to change it up now. It's going to be 4th and 5 on the Shelby, actually 4th and 6. Looks like Chase may still go for it. Now, one of the things I noticed is backup quarterback number 2, Gus Owens, is also the punter, so they could always punt at any point now. But Chase is going to go for it.
4th and a short 7, long 6. And it's a handoff on the jet sweep, but play blown dead again. The handoff was to 25, DeAndre Kelly, who had a 16-yard run on his first carry. And it's a offside or legal procedure on Chase. So that 4th and 2 is now a 4th and 12. And now it looks like the punt team is coming out on the field. So, you know, you got to say Chase leads 7-0, and they've been their own worst enemy, giving Shelby 2 first downs via penalty and now hurting their own chances of a first down with a couple of penalties.
Chase has had 5 penalties for a total of 35 yards, and so that's the only thing keeping Chase as close as it is.
Good snap, good punt by Owens. Shelby doesn't even have a return man back, and unfortunately Owens' punt goes 46 yards in the air and lands in the end zone for a touchback.
So fortunately for Shelby, so with 45.7 seconds left in the first quarter, Shelby has the ball on their own 20, down 7-0, and really we need to get something going right now, Brent Pasco.
Yeah, it was a shaky first quarter for sure for the Golden Lions offense. They did make it into Chase territory on both drives, however, just never got in sync, and were helped by some Chase penalties to get there. 1st and 10, low snap, handled by George. He gets the pass off complete, and that's Jaden Borders, and he's breaking tackles out across the 40. 21-yard gain and a Pegram Insurance first down, and already 4 catches for the sophomore receiver.
Golden Lions quickly up over the ball, 37.3 seconds left in the first quarter. Shelby trying to really pick up the pace right now. 1st and 10 on their 41-yard line.
And they're going quickly. Still 30 seconds to go first half. Handoff, Chad Reed, and he's plowed in the backfield for a loss of at least 2.
Yeah, and I think he may be hurt. That's a double whammy. The officials are stopping the game. The Shelby trainers are coming up, and he's grabbing that left knee, and that is not something we want to see.
Well, it was a run around the left side. He was hit immediately, kind of spun around and hit again. Now he's down. Let's take a little bit of a break, Steve Roberts. Let's just take a 30-second break as he's perking up, and we'll see if this injury is serious or not. Back in 30 seconds.
Inlow Mortuary is in its 90th year providing sympathetic, efficient services to the families of the Shelby area. Inlow's is committed to these families to make sure their arrangements are handled in the most professional, caring way. The folks at Inlow's believe the quality of their service personal touch, and the little things they do add up to the family's satisfaction. Enlow staff is available anytime to assist you in any way they can. Enlow Mortuary, 231 North Lafayette Street in Shelby.
Everybody's supporting him, and so that's good news. You don't want to see your big man that does so many things for you, catches the ball out of the backfield, does a good job blocking. You just don't want to see him hurt. So 2nd down and 12 now with 17 seconds left in the first quarter.
Hand off to the freshman, Dede Brooks, around the right side, and he breaks one tackle, and he's still on his feet. Now he cuts it back to the left. He can't quite get out of the grasp of 17. And I don't have that number on my roster either for Chase, but that was one of those spectacular runs that at the end of the day is only a gain of about 4. But, Coach, he was one tackle away from going the distance there.
He sure was, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter with Chase leading Shelby 7-0.
Let's take a 1-minute break. We'll come back with second quarter action here on WOHS 1390, KTCBroadcasting.com, Big O Country, Ustream, you name it. Back in 1 minute.
It's the 90th Annual Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. Make plans now to be there. On the Midway, it's pig racing, Leon Jacobs, Hack Monsters Chainsaw Demonstration, the Tumbleweed Crossing Wild West Show, and on the grandstand, it's the Demolition Derby and much more. So join us for the fun, the 90th Annual Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. The Cleveland County Fair at the Cleveland County Fairgrounds.
Nine Golden Lions, 3rd down 9. R.J. George rolls to his left away from the pressure. He's looking downfield, and he's got an open Jaden Borders, but again, overthrows it as he kind of threw a little bit off his back foot on the run. And R.J.'s just been a little bit off on those kind of patterns. The ones he's completing are the ones where he's setting his feet and throwing it to the sidelines on the short route. But he's been a little bit high on the out routes. And again, off the mark, and it's going to be 4th and 9, Golden Lions. Trailing Chase 7-0 here in the second quarter. 11:52 to go on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, and Chase defense looking pretty good so far against this Shelby offense.
Awfully impressive, and one thing that you have to keep an eye on is Chase has a lot of people going both ways. 2
on the play clock, and Shelby gets the snap off. It's a kind of a wobbly kick fielded at the 25-yard line and breaks through. It's number 4. And a bad tackle attempt by Shelby, and he's into Shelby territory. Now the ball on the ground, picked up by Chase Squires, and he's down at the Shelby 23-yard line. So excellent punt return, and then a little bit of help from a fumble that goes forward and is picked up by his own player. And now Chase takes over ahead 7-0 at the Shelby 22-yard line.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and a pretty good punt and not a very good coverage, and then the ball is fumbled and then scooped up by a Chase player and carried out to the 22 of Shelby. So, whoa, boy, that's rough.
Now Shelby's defense is going to be tested again. They got a little bit of help last drive as a 4th and 2 turned into a 4th and 12 after 2 Chase offsides penalties. But now Chase is at the Shelby 22, 1st and 10. And Owens running the option. He's got nowhere to go, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. From behind was 55, Treshawn Borders, and from the front was Clay Husky, or actually 26, Siobhan Miller. So good tackling by Shelby there on 1st down.
Well, what's happened now with the Golden Lions is on that particular play, Chase ran the double option, quarterback just running it, and it's either he's going to keep it or pitch it. And again, nothing there. Golden Lions have done a good job against the option so far. 2nd down and 12.
And it's a handoff to Phillips, the fullback, and Nick Terrell's there to take him down. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. Nice tackle by one of our Aura Supermarket players to watch.
Yeah, that was, I'm sorry, Brent, that was what we call the weak belly. They ran that in the split inside, and it's a cross block by the guard and the tackle, and our big defensive line said no go and hit him pretty much immediately.
So it's 3rd and 8 from the Shelby 20. In motion goes Squires, and back to throw is Owens, and a great coverage by Damian Key. He almost comes up with the interception. Pass intended for DeAndre Kelly, but great coverage by Damian.
So Jimenez is going to come in and attempt a 37-yard field goal, and he had a 40-yard field goal in the Burns game. So he is capable from this distance.
And we've seen on the kickoffs, Jimenez has kind of hit the 2 low line drives. Maybe on purpose, though. It's hard to say, but again, 37-yarder coming up.
The field goal he hit against Burns was also a line drive. It barely got there, but it didn't have to. It's not a beauty contest. It's always, if it goes over the crossbar and between the uprights, it counts.
And you got to watch for that Shelby defensive front. They've blocked a number of kicks this year. 1 field goal, 3 extra points. And the kick is low, line drive, but it's good from 37 yards out. Jimenez connects, and the Trojans take a 10-0 lead over the Golden Lions. Back in 30 seconds for a Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Keep warm this winter and save money too with the new Echo SunTech infrared heater from Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. It's a 3-in-1 product, an infrared heater, a humidifier, and an air purifier, with a 5-year factory warranty on the PTC heat element. The Echo SunTech infrared heater allows you to heat by zones instead of an entire area. Zone heating allows you to keep unoccupied areas cooler than normal, thereby reducing your heating bill. See one today at Cleveland Lumber Company, 217 Arrowwood Street in Shelby. Good credit, bad credit, no credit? Apply today and ride today at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Pick up this week's What's Up Shopper for some great deals with zero money down and rates as low as 2.99%. See the new Polaris Ranger 500 Crew for as low as $10,000. The brand new Yamaha Grizzly 125 is only $35.99. And for the lake, get the 2014 Yamaha Superjet for only $71.50. Full Throttle Power Sports. Exit 22 off I-85 in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. It's America's Mattress Sale at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Save now on the 2013 Inventory Reduction Sale. All 2013 mattress sets must go. Get free delivery, free setup, free haul away. Get the sleep you need, guaranteed. Save on the Serta Perfect Sleeper for only $299 for queen size. Get special 12-month financing and big pillows just $39. America's Mattress from Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
George is back, and he's going to take a huge sack. I mean, this is back tackled in the end zone. The forward progress is all the way out to the 7-yard line. But RJ did not. That was one of those kind of rookie mistakes, not a veteran quarterback type thing where you don't keep running backwards and take a bigger sack than it could have been. And that's a huge loss all the way back at the 7 and a loss of 13.
So 2nd down and 23. Chase leading 10-0. And the Chase Partisans are a little bit upset right now because they were hoping for a safety, but actually I thought he probably, I would have put it at about the 4. I think we got lucky to have it at the 7, but I think the ball should have been placed at the 4, but it's a huge loss. And, boy, let's just see what happens here, Brent Pasco.
2nd and 23 from deep in their own territory, and RJ rolls out to his right. He's actually got room to tuck it, but he's going to go way up top. He's got Cavassier shell deep, and he comes down with the catch all the way at the Chase 38-yard line, and Shelby with a big play to get out of a hole.
Yeah, I mean a really, really big play all the way out to the Chase 39-yard line.
A pickup of 55 yards, and more importantly, a Pegram Insurance first down in Chase territory. And Shelby quickly running another play, and George is back again, and he finds a receiver, Shell again on the left sideline. It's a short gainer, but it's positive yards across and inside the 35, maybe right on the 35-yard line. That's a gain of about 4.
Again, I think we got a little bit unfortunate on that spot right there, but that's okay. It's a gain of 4, so it's 2nd down and 6, and those have been 2 good passes that George has had in the flat.
2nd down, 6. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Low snap, handled by George, and he gets the pass off, and it's a slant caught by Borders, and he's inside the 20, and he breaks the tackle, and he's inside the 15. 1st down, Golden Lions. They're on the move.
Again, that ball was thrown high. Borders did a great job of getting up to get that ball, and then a good run afterward. 1st down and 10 inside the 15. I think it's about the 14-yard line. 9 minutes left in the first half. Shelby down 10-0 to Chase.
And that's another pickup of 21 yards and a Pigram Insurance 1st down. Official timeout on the field. And let's see what it is. It's a Chase timeout, their 3rd and final one of the half. Let's take a 30-second break and be back with this big 1st down play for Shelby.
The easiest way home is with Homestar Financial Corporation in Shelby. Bob Webb invites you to come in and talk with one of their financial specialists about your new home, from conventional loans to FHA to VA and to USDA. And all loan programs are available to qualified buyers. Homestar Financial manages the entire mortgage process with outstanding customer service that produces a high level of customer satisfaction. Find out more today. Visit Homestar Financial Corporation, 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, or call 704-482-2588.
Line. 3 straight completions by R.J. George, 55 yards to Cavassier Shell, 4 yards to Cavassier Shell, 21 yards to Jaden Borders. And on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, some scores from around the area. Kings Mountain leads Burns 14-0. Crest 34-0 over T.C. Roberson. Back to pass is George on 1st down, and he overshoots Chad Reed at the 10-yard line.
Boy, it's good to see Chad Reed back in. Chad upset that the pass was thrown high, but that it's either been a good pass or a high pass. There's not been anywhere in between. It's either been, like I say, his miss this week has been high.
It's been high. And Shelby up to the line, 17 on the play clock. Handoff Buck Ushery, and he breaks 1 tackle. But that's it. That play goes to the 12, maybe a couple of yards, and a big 3rd down again for Shelby.
Going to bring up 3rd down and a long 7 for the Golden Lions.
I'm going to call it 3rd and 8.
Big play for the Golden Lions.
Ball on the 12-yard line. Well within Richard Wright's range, and the pass complete to Jaden Borders. He gets a block from Cavassier Shell, and he's inside the 5. Touchdown, Golden Lions. 12 yards. George to Borders, and the Golden Lions are on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
With 8:19 left in the first half.
And that touchdown would not have occurred, nor a 1st down, had he not gotten a block from Cavassier Shell out here on the flat.
Yeah, great block by Cavassier Shell, and then an equally good run after Cavassier sprang him for about 5 yards, and he got the last 7 pretty much on his own.
Richard Wright on for the point after attempt. Everything's good. Hold and kick. And Shelby draws within 10-7. 8:19 left to go. 2nd quarter, back in 30 seconds for a Jim and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Honda's line of 4-Trax Rancher all-terrain vehicles are America's favorite ATVs because they're always improving. That's especially true with the all-new 2014 Ranchers, like the new double cradle steel chassis and aggressively styled bodywork that's just as tough as it is good-looking. So head on down to Honda of Shelby, Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, and see the entire 2014 Honda Rancher line. You'll see why these midsize ATVs are truly the best on earth. Honda of Shelby, Highway 74 East.
Back to Chase High School, where an Ed Green Construction take it to the house touchdown by the Golden Lions is Jaden Borders via a 12-yard pass from R.J. George. And more like it, Coach, as Shelby goes 80 yards in 7 plays, all of them in the air except for the sack on first down. So really they had to go 93 yards after the sack, and they did so. Wright's kickoff taken at the 8 by Squires, and he's up across the 20, taken down by Damian Key and Cameron Hawk and Siobhan Miller, along with DeMonte Poole. So, or excuse me, Aaron Jolly. So 4 Golden Lions in on that tackle.
Good coverage. Chase is going to start inside their 25-yard line, about the Chase 22. And, with the exception of two good runs, the Golden Lion defense has done a nice job. I mean, the last time that Chase had the ball, Shelby was sitting back on their own 22-yard line. And so Golden Lion defense has held up their end of the bargain thus far. Let's see if we can continue to do it.
1st and 10 played Kelly in motion, handoff to the fullback, and he's got yardage up to the 25, a pickup of about 3. And that's a new fullback, Potlow.
Yeah, Chase runs about 3 different fullbacks, and that's one of the things they do, and about every one of the fullbacks plays defense as well. Chase only got about 40 people on their roster, so they have a lot of people that are playing on offense and defense. Again, that was the off tackle. It's again what we used to call the weak belly. It's an off tackle play, but it's really inside the tackle to the split inside. And Shelby did another good job that time of stacking it up for pretty much maybe 3 yards.
Trey Whiteside and Rashad Wilkins into the game. They replace Blake Pryor and DeAndre Kelly, and it's a reverse to Squires on first down. And whoa, Damian Key way in the backfield for a big loss.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brent, that was the quick pitch, and that was the play that South Point ran so well against the Golden Lions. And, when RS tried to run it last week, Shelby did a great job of stopping it, and an equally good job that time. Good play that time. And who was that, number 45?
Damian Key.
Damian Key did a great job of defeating the block and making the tackle for a huge loss. So that's going to be 3rd and about 15 with 6:57 clock running. Chase with the ball.
That's an 8-yard loss. And quickly, Shelby blitzes, but pass completed, and there's Key again on the tackle. That was 44, again a number I don't have on my roster. But Key's making a tackle for an 8-yard loss in the backfield, and then for a short 5-yard gain back to the original line of scrimmage.
44 is Zach Anderson.
All right, Zach Anderson on the catch.
So 4th down and 10. Great job again by the Golden Lion defense. Shelby should have good field position after this punt.
And it
snap back.
Clay Husky almost gets there, as does Siobhan Miller. The punt bounces at the 50, hits Chad Reed's foot, and luckily goes out of bounds at the Shelby 35. That could have been disastrous.
Well, 42, 48. That's going to be a 43-yard punt with no return, and that was scary.
Well, the ball hit at the 40, and it skipped. And when Chad came to field it, instead of taking a hop up, it took a skid and went below his hands and hit it. Looked like it deflected off his shoe on the left side. Luckily, it hit his foot and went out of bounds. Shelby takes over at the 35, trailing 10-7. In motion goes Borders, having a big night so far, and over the middle is a pass intended for Devin Gillette, but it's tipped by Gus Owens, actually by Treston Abrams.
Yeah, that was I thought we had a really good play that time. We cleared out with Borders going across the middle, and then had a secondary man across the middle, and he was open, but unfortunately for us, the linebacker got his hand on it. So 2nd down and 10 for the Golden Lions on the 35.
Caleb Jolly in at wide out, and the handoff is to Chad Reed, and he's picking his way for maybe 3. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7, and I'll tell you what, Chase has been great against the run so far tonight.
They really have. The Golden Lions have been pretty good against the run as well. The big difference in this game is the 60-yard interception return. Shelby quickly over the ball, 3rd down and 7 on their own 38-yard line.
It's a long 7, and George puts it up again, complete to Borders, and Borders again making a run after the catch that gets him right at first down yardage. Let's see where the mark is. It looks like he might have it by the nose of the football, but I could sense a measurement perhaps here. And
nope,
they're
not
going to
go ahead
measure.
and make the call first down. So that's the 9th first down by the Golden Lions. Chase only has 1 first down tonight, but they're leading 10-7.
Pickup of 7. And a Pegram Insurance first down as the Golden Lions are at the 45-yard line. 5:15 to go first half. Chase leads 10-7, but Shelby on the move. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Reed in the backfield, and he gets the call, and he's got it. This time across midfield inside the 45, still on his feet to the 40. Carrying tacklers inside the 40 to the 38. And that's a pickup of 17 yards and another Pegram Insurance first down.
Again, the 10th first down of the first half by the Golden Lions. The first one running, though. Chase, as you've mentioned, has done a really good job with the stopping the run game.
That's been the first time Shelby's broken that first tackle and gotten into the secondary, and it was good for a 17-yard gain. And they go right back to Reed. This time he can't break that initial, but he fights for 3.
Well, he fought for 3, and as he was trying to fight, we also had one of the Golden Lion offensive linemen throwing his weight behind him as well, and I think that was big number 79, Jawan Taylor, who helped him get those extra yards. I tell you what, Brent, I'm not sure that that's legal, but people do it all the time now.
Second down 7. Now Shelby at the Chase 35. And Buck Ushery in at running back. RJ looks to the sideline. Play clock at 5. And George with a quick pass out in the flat, and Caleb Jolly unable to come up with it.
Looked like Caleb wasn't quite ready for that. He was surprised that ball was thrown to him. Ball was just a little bit wide, but I know Caleb would have liked to got his hands on that one. So we got another big play here. 4 minutes and 1 second left in the first half. Shelby trailing 10-7. Ball on the Chase 35-yard line, and Buck Ushery to the left of R.J. George.
Well, they got all the Chase guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they go up top. And they do, and they've got a receiver there, and that's completed. Touchdown, Shelby, Devin Gillette. And his second catch of the season. He was injured for the first 3 weeks, came back last week with a big catch, and tonight it's a 35-yard touchdown catch right down the seam.
That was a really good catch, and it was a pretty well-thrown ball, but that was one that he really had to reach for, and he made the catch and carried the defender into the end zone. So Shelby leads 13-10, waiting for the extra point now. Richard Wright waiting for the snap back. Ball's down, kicks up, and it is good. Shelby leads 14-10 with 3:52 left in the first half.
And we'll take a 30-second break and come back with a Richard Wright Jim and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Medical Arts Pharmacy is your locally owned independent hometown pharmacy. Unlike the big chain stores, Medical Arts Pharmacy calls you by name and treats you like family and friends, not a number. Medical Arts has more National Board certified technicians and personnel than other pharmacies to keep down your waiting time on prescriptions. Online refills at medicalartsofshelby.com. Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street near the hospital in Shelby. Call 704-487-8068.
All right, and Ed Green Construction, take it to the house TD for the Golden Lions. This time it's 35 yards from R.J. George to Devin Gillette. And if you're a Shelby fan, Gillette and Borders are sophomore wide receivers. They've combined in the first half for 8 catches and a couple of touchdowns. Good news for the young Golden Lions, and more importantly, Shelby back on top 14-10. And Richard Wright's kickoff is deep and taken at the 1. And up across the 20 is number 4, Trey Whiteside, but not much more.
Tell you what, it looked like there was a little bit of a seam that time, and I was getting just a little bit worried, but Golden Lions shut that seam down. So 3:45 left. Chase has no timeouts. Shelby has 2 left. 3:45 left in the half. Shelby leading 14-10.
tell you, it looked like on that drive, finally, Chase defense getting a little tired.
Well, they've been on the field the whole game. I mean, Shelby has 11 first downs, and Chase has 1.
1st and 10, Owens under center. He hands it off to the tailback, and Shelby all over it. I can't even tell you who got the tackle. I can tell you the first hit was made by Dax Hollifield, but what you like to see, about 5 white shirts get off the pile.
And I'll tell you what else I like is Nick Terrell was in the backfield making him go deep. And I tell you what, the Golden Lion front has really gotten penetration. And that jet sweep, that's awfully hard to run if you have to avoid 2 or 3 people before you get out from behind your offensive line.
Loss of 4. 2nd down, 14. And hand off to the fullback. Actually, it's a pitch back to the tailback. And again, Shelby all over Whiteside.
That was a clinic right there as far as defensing a triple option, an absolute clinic. The fullback was taken quickly. The quarterback was forced to pitch, and when he pitched, there were 3 guys around the pitchback, and you can't ask for better defense than that. And you can tell the Golden Lions have had to deal with that triple option now for 3 straight weeks because I tell you what, that was good defense that time. 2:37, clock ticking, down to 20 seconds left on the play clock. Chase, to be quite honest, is wanting to milk a little bit of clock here. They don't want to turn the ball back over to Shelby.
It's now 3rd down and a long 13, short 14. And movement, Shelby blitzes, and they're going to get Owens way back at the 10-yard line. Gary and Addison and Dax Hollifield came with the linebacker.
Shelby trying to get a timeout called, and they do. So 2:08 left in the half. Shelby with a timeout. Chase facing 4th and 20-some from their own 13-yard line.
It's a loss of 8. It's going to bring up about a 4th and 21. And that time, Shelby sensing a pass brought the house. Owens had no chance.
Yeah, he had Gary and Addison coming from the front, and Dax Hollifield coming from behind, and like I said, he had absolutely no prayer at that. And that's just, we talked about sometimes the defense makes a good call. And in the first quarter of this ball game, I was giving Chase a lot of credit because they were making some really good calls. And this time, the Golden Lions, again, with the exception of 2 plays, I mean, Chase has had 2 good running plays, and other than that, the Golden Lion defense has really shut them down. And you're saying, well, how can Shelby be only up 14-10? Well, they're up 14-10 because Chase had a 60-yard interception return, and then after a punt, they had the ball on the Shelby 23-yard line, 1st and 10, and that's where their 10 points came from.
It's that other yardage, punt return, interception return. And those things count, too. Just ask Devin Hester, how about his performance Thursday night?
You talk about a performance. So, Shelby double backs waiting for the punt.
I thought Shelby may lay back, not try to go for this, because they know they're going to get good field position, set up a return by one of the 2 dangerous guys. It's a great kick by Owens as he backs Chad Reed up to his own 45, but he's into the secondary, or he's into the side to 30. To the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Reed. He takes it to the house, 55-yard touchdown return. And now the Golden Lions got it rolling.
What a nice return that time. 55-yard punt return for a touchdown.
And now Reed has touchdowns receiving, rushing, and now punt return on the season. And that's his 10th touchdown in 4.5 weeks. Nice start to the season, and good to have him back after an injury early in the game.
Yeah, we were really worried about him when he reached for his left knee, but apparently there was nothing wrong with that knee.
Right on for the point after.
Oh, we're going to be guilty of movement. The left guard stepped down too quickly, and so that's going to be a legal procedure, false start. So the Golden Lions are going to have to back up 5 yards and make this a 25-yard point after touchdown.
And they do just that. Good news is it stays right in the middle of the field, and Wright's got plenty of leg for this. Shelby leads 20-10, 1:54 to go. Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard first half. And Shelby with 20 unanswered.
Hopefully 21.
Appling snap good, hold good by George. Kicks up and through. Shelby 21, Chase 10, back in 30 seconds for yet another Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Service. That's hard to find when it comes to lawn and garden equipment. Not anymore. Head to Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Parker Farm Service services all major brands, makes, and models. Call Mary McHenry to set up your appointment at 704-259-6130. And Parker Farm Service welcomes Kenny Barbie to their service department. 24-hour turnaround with in-house parts, plus delivery and pickup is available. Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive at the Highway 74 bypass, Oak Grove Road intersection in Kings Mountain.
All right, Richard Wright's got it teed up. You know, I was hearing some talk. The score was 10-0 Chase. R.J. George goes back to pass, gets hit. It was that kind of call where he ended up tackled in the end zone. They gave him forward progress out to the 7. And it was one of those plays where the problem was R.J. kept kind of getting out of the tackle. And so people up here were wanting the safety, but they were just pointing out right after that play, Shelby goes up top for 55 yards, and the rest has been a 21-point Shelby barrage.
That was a wonderful kickoff that drove the receiver back to his 1-yard line, way back in the corner, and he took it on the left side. And unfortunately for him, Chase was trying to run a right return, so he ran it about 40 yards and only got out to the 17-yard line. Great play by the Golden Lions on the coverage that time.
Shelby with one timeout, but I don't think that's going to quite do the trick with 1:46. Depending on what Chase tries to do here, are they going to run it, take it to the house down 11, knowing they get the second half kickoff? And they do run it on first down, and Shelby in the backfield, maybe a yard loss.
Absolutely, another yard loss. And again, I don't think that Shelby can force the issue here if Chase runs it 2 more times. And you might say, well, why wouldn't Chase try to throw it? Well, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. And so when they start the second half, they'll be back with 3 timeouts again, and they'll have had a long halftime to talk about adjustments.
Second down 11. Phillips loses 1 on first down. And second down, Owens is going to hand it off to Phillips. Actually, he keeps it, and he's taken down in the backfield by Damian Key, who was the first man. Actually, it was Nick Terrell that snuffed the play out, but he got away from Nick Terrell, and then it was Damian Key.
Looks like we got a
took him down.
Looks like the quarterback is down, and I know Chase doesn't want to see this because number 2, Gus Owens, is already their backup quarterback, and he took a pretty good shot on the hip, and he is holding that left hip. And I don't know, guys, if you've ever had a hip pointer, that is a really, really painful thing, and that could be what it is. And I don't know what Chase's third team quarterback is. It looks like down here number 6.
Malik Young.
Malik Young is taking some snaps. He's a 5'11", 160-pound senior. There's 52.4 seconds left in the first half, and I tell you what, Owens is hobbling off the field a little worse than Chad Reed was earlier. And when he grabbed that left hip, and he's kind of got his hand on that left hip, that looks like a hip pointer to me, Brent Pasco.
Well, maybe the saving grace is it's something he can maybe shake off and might only need Young to take a snap.
Well, that's true, and I tell you one thing about a hip pointer is a hip pointer, when that thing cools down, it really tightens up. And so I don't know what they're going to be doing with him at halftime. And again, it might not be a hip pointer, but just the way he grabbed that left hip, it looked like that's what it could be.
Young is in the game. He's in the shotgun, however, on third down 12. Maybe a shotgun, take a knee. Let's go into halftime, but I don't know that Shelby's used that last timeout yet.
Yeah, there's some question about whether or not Shelby has another timeout. I think they do. Chase just helped them by snapping it pretty early, though.
And Young gets slung down by Gary and Addison for another big loss. This one's a loss of about 4.
And Shelby does have a timeout. They take it, so now it's going to be 4th down and about 20. And I tell you what, Chase really helped Shelby that time, because when they trotted their, and again, it's their third-team quarterback. When they trotted their third-team quarterback out, there were 25 seconds left on the play clock. There were 50 seconds left on the game clock, and so they could have taken that all the way down to about 25 seconds before they snapped it. But they went ahead and snapped it pretty much immediately. Shelby made the sack and then stopped the clock. So there's still 39.4 seconds left in the half, and Shelby is now going to force Chase to punt out of their end zone.
And now might be the time you put the punt block on.
It could be, because if you do rough the punter, what you end up with is you have a situation where you're gonna give them a first down. But here's another thing: who's their next punter? Because I thought number 2 was their punter. Now, the first punt, I didn't pay attention if it was Owens or not that punted.
It was Owens. So now they got Jimenez back there, who's the kicker. And you would think he's got a leg on him, but is he used to handling the ball back there at the punting?
Tell you what, it's definitely gotten dicey for Chase right now. Shelby is really putting some pressure on him. So here we go. Looks like Shelby's setting up the return, and I don't think that's a bad idea.
And Shelby gets a heck of a rush on, even rushing just a couple, and Jimenez kicks it out of bounds. Shelby's going to get the ball at about the Chase 40, maybe the 39-yard line, with no timeouts but 32 seconds. And, that is enough time.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that Shelby has a lot of scoring drives this year, less than a minute. And, we get about 15 more yards, Richard Wright's in field goal range. So 32.1 seconds left. Golden Lions trotting onto the field. They're leading 21-10, and empty backfield right now.
Empty backfield, 4 receivers left, 1 right. George back. There's a rush on. He eludes it. He steps up, and he's going to be sacked, though. And he's got no timeouts left, so Shelby's going to have to run either down this one or clock it as you would.
That's when you really would wish with a senior quarterback that he would have thrown that thing away.
No doubt about it.
So we're down to about 10 seconds left. Shelby is clocking it, which means that they threw it down to stop the clock. So now it's third down. Third down and 11 with 8.3 seconds left in the half. And so at this point, I don't know, maybe it's time for the Hail Mary. Because with no timeout, you'd have to get 15 yards and out of bounds.
Yeah, a good play for RJ could have been throw it as far as you can out of the back of the end zone and keep it at about 25 seconds. Now you're down to maybe 2 plays if you get one to the sideline, maybe 1 if he goes deep. And he's going to be hit as he throws it. And it's going to fall incomplete. Actually, they're calling it a live ball.
That ball can't be alive.
All right.
It is the last play of the half, and so that will end the half, and that's got to be an incomplete pass, and it was.
All right. He was hit behind by Zach Anderson right as he threw. It falls incomplete. And we go to halftime. Shelby up 21-10 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. Back in 3 minutes for our halftime show.
Cooking out? Then head to the Ora Supermarket and Broad River Hams in Shelby. This week, T-bone steaks just $5.99 a pound. Boston butts $1.59 a pound by the case. For those football games, whole jumbo wings $1.99 a pound. Restaurant-style wings $2.19 a pound. And jumbo legs 89 cents a pound. Ora Supermarket and Broad River Hams has North Carolina just picked apples and peaches along with some pumpkin stew. And mountain cabbage is 39 cents a pound at the Ora Supermarket and Broad River Hams, 1026 East Marion Street, Shelby. There's nothing like a Bobcat to cut grass, and there's no better deal than right now to own a new Bobcat from West End Sales in Vail. For only $101 a month, you can be mowing on your new Bobcat with 0% financing for 54 months. See the Bobcat Fast Cat R2 with a big 22 horsepower Kawasaki engine and a big 52-inch cut and a heavy-duty frame weighing 850 pounds, plus a 3-year, 300-hour warranty. Only $101 per month at West End Sales, Highway 2718 North Intersection, Vail. Old Man Winter is just around the corner. It's time to fill up your tank with home heating oil or kerosene. From Energy Direct in Shelby. They promise to beat anybody's price. Check with Energy Direct in Shelby before you fill it up for winter. Just give them a call at 704-482-0351. Again, that's 704-482-0351. They will beat anybody's price on home heating oil and kerosene. Guaranteed. Energy Direct, 1629 South Lafayette Street, Shelby.
When accidents happen, it's reassuring to know that quick expert care is nearby. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care Shelby is now open and is staffed with experienced physicians, mid-level providers, nurses, and support personnel equipped with on-site laboratory and x-ray services. So keep our new location and contact information close by for immediate access to the region's preferred healthcare and largest physicians network. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care, 1010 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. Jam & J's Pizza Factory is Shelby's favorite locally owned family pizza restaurant, featuring a pizza buffet and salad bar, a fantastic game room, and birthday parties. Jam & J's has gluten-free pizza, vegan cheese pizza, and now try the La Nova wings in barbecue, hot and spicy, or oven roasted. And Jam & J's is the original home for the Livermus pizza. Want to eat at home and watch the game? Call for carryout at 704-600-6182. Jam & J's Pizza Factory, Highway 74 East, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby.
Do you know what Putnam Distributor sells?
Welcome to our halftime show, sponsored by Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, and Dr. Craig Thompson, Family Dental Care. Our ninth year sponsoring our halftime show. Here at Chase High, it's Shelby 21, Chase 10, Coach, in a tale of kind of two halves of a first half, if you would.
Most definitely. At the end of the first quarter, it was Chase 7, Shelby nothing. And early in the second quarter, it was Chase 10, Shelby nothing. And again, just after that, R.J. George took a questionable sack way back at his own 7-yard line. And so Shelby faced a 2nd and 23, down 10-0. Not much of anything good had happened. And from that point on, switch was flipped, and the Golden Lions have now lead 21-10. I guess we'll go ahead and do the Okies Tire game recap. The opening score of the game occurred with 6:55 left in the first quarter. Austin Smith took a 60-yard interception return back for a touchdown. Omar Jimenez, extra point, made it 7-0 Chase. After an excellent punt return by Chase, they were in business at the Golden Lion 20-yard line and got nothing after that. But with 10:16 left in the second quarter, Jimenez had a 37-yard field goal, and Chase led 10-0. With 8:19 left in the half, Jaden Borders had a 12-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after touchdown made it 10-7 Chase. With 3:52 left in the first half, Devin Gillette hauled in an excellent catch, a 35-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after made it 14-10 Shelby. And with 1:54 left in half, Chad Reed had a 55-yard punt return for a touchdown. Wright's point after made it 21-10 Golden Lions. Shelby has 11 first downs, has turned it over once with an interception. Chase has 1 first down, and that was the first time that they had the football. And they have no turnovers. Chase has been guilty of 5 penalties for 35 yards. Shelby's been guilty of 3 penalties for 27 yards. And one of the really good things to say is Shelby has committed 1 penalty in the second quarter, and Chase got no first downs after the first time they touched the ball.
Well, pretty good game summary. I'll go with the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance stat sheet. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest with you. We'll start with Shelby. Chad Reed has 33 yards on 9 carries. Buck Usry, 7 yards on 3 carries. Xavier Day Brooks, 5 yards on 2 carries. And R.J. George, -1 yards on 5 carries. So Shelby with just 44 yards rushing on 19 carries. Passing, George 10 for 21 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jaden Borders, 7 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown. Cavassier Shell, 2 catches for 59 yards, and Devin Gillette, 1 catch for 35 yards. That was a touchdown. So Shelby with 229 total, 44 rushing, 185 passing. Here's where it gets a little interesting. Chase, Gus Owens, 6 carries, -9. Bruce Squires, 2 carries, 0 yards. Stephon Williams, 3 carries, -2 yards. DeAndre Kelly, 2 carries, 12 yards. A.J. Potlow, 1 carry, 3 yards. Trey Whitesides, 1 carry, 1 yard. Malik Young, 1 carry, -9. Chase with -4 yards on 16 carries. Passing, Owens 1 for 2 for 5 yards. So if you add that up, they've got 1 total yard of offense in the first half, but have 10 points on the scoreboard because you got to play all 3 phases of the football game, and they got 7 points from the defense and 3 from the special teams via a long punt return and a field goal.
So there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Golden Lion faithful, and this is what coaches are talking about at halftime right now. You cannot let down. You're going to kick off right now, and I'll tell you what the Chase coaching staff is saying. Chase is saying, look, we let them out of a big hole, but this game is still winnable. So Chase is saying we're going to take that opening kickoff. We're going to get a good kickoff return. We're going to get a good drive. We're going to go down. We're going to get points, and we're going to be right back in the ball game. Because as we talked over and over and over again, high school football is a game of momentum. And since R.J. George was sacked way back at his 7-yard line, the momentum has switched over to Shelby, and Chase is going to be talking about trying to make a change and change that momentum. So the Golden Lions are saying, okay, guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to kick off. We're going to have good coverage on that kick, just like we've done every time except one on a punt. Good coverage on the kick. We're going to continue to put great pressure on the Chase and get the guys in the Chase backfield, get a quick 3 and out, get the ball back, take it down and score, and start really trying to dominate this football game. So you cannot let up right now if you're the Golden Lions.
Big question for Chase is quarterback Gus Owens going to come back in the ball game. Already down starting quarterback Terrell Boykins to an injury against Bandy's a couple of weeks ago. Gus Owens took over last week against Burns and started again tonight. He went out with about 52 seconds left first half. Malik Young came in for basically one play where he lost 9 yards, and we're going to have to keep an eye and see if Owens can make it back out, because if not, it's a big disadvantage for Chase going to that third QB in Young. He's athletic, but
we're not even sure he can take a snap from center, and definitely got to wonder if they can run anything like their offense. He came in and basically ran from the shotgun. Now, Chase does have a series of shotgun plays, but that's not what Chase wants to do. And so that is a big question. And I tell you what, we got D. Ray Allen back from the University of North Carolina. He's come back to the big city of Caroline Henrietta here from the little town of Chapel Hill. And if you don't mind, I think I'm gonna turn over my headset and let's talk to David Ray Allen.
All right, D. Ray, good to have you back on the air and with us here. How was the first month or so of college going for you?
Well, I didn't see this coming, first of all. I was just coming to say hey. But it's going well. Got a job at the Daily Tar Heel. I'm a sports writer now. How about that?
All right.
I'm
sitting
enjoying
in between
it.
sports writers here.
There you go. I'm having a good time. Class is a little tough, but it's college, right? So
growing a little scruff, I see.
That's
there.
right. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it's good to have you with us. You've been here for the whole first half. What's your thoughts so far? Like we said, it was kind of a tale of two quarters, really, in that first half.
Well, one of the reasons why I came up here was to see Chase's offensive stats. How many total yards? But zero is zero, right? 1.
I got 1 yard.
Okay, I thought it had to be somewhere out there.
Maybe I was being generous.
I was going to ask if anybody had ever scored 10 points in a half and not had any yards. I mean, Shelby's defenses look great with with those, that defensive line's pretty strong. And, I haven't seen them play this entire year. You can already tell the offensive line is our biggest weakness. And I was talking to Dad earlier, I think RJ looks actually more comfortable to me when he gets out of the pocket and starts moving around a little bit, because sometimes on these quick slants and these quick out routes that he's throwing when he's in the pocket, he just looks a little uncomfortable. He's made some overthrows. So I think, RJ's got some experience on this year, and he's going to keep gaining. And Chad Reed's he's playing phenomenal from what I've heard over the past few weeks. And we've got a real young wide receiver core, pretty small wide receiver core as well. So experience as the year goes on. They're going to get those big games coming up. Kings Mountain next week's going to be a pretty tough game for us, and Crest obviously will be a big game. So looking forward to it this season for the Golden Lions.
No doubt. We were, you're talking about that youth, and what we were pointing out is between Borders and Gillette, 8 catches for 124 yards or 126 yards. They're both sophomores.
Right.
Day Brooks in there as a freshman getting some carries. So, pretty exciting for those young Golden Lions. But it's the seniors, R.J. George and Chad Reed, that are the leaders of that offense, and those young guys are contributing. So, taking a little while for it to come together and gel, but it's a long season, and they're getting better every game. Steve Roberts says, "What's up, D-Ray? Good to have you home." And
he's a Duke fan.
Say hi to him.
He's a Duke fan. Steve, listen back in. You're a Duke fan, but I still love you. See, I think Steve agrees, Duke fan too, aren't you? No, okay, good. All right. Just want to make sure.
I hear you. You hear that? He says that's thumbs up, dude. And he says, no, it's not an advantage for Coach K to coach Team USA, like Calipari's saying. But
we don't like Coach K there at Chapel Hill.
Anyway, D-Ray picked this game because there's a lot of pretty girls here at Chase, and it's homecoming.
That's another thing, homecoming against Shelby. It's kind of rare. We usually have homecoming against Chase, so Dad said that I guess if Chase decides they're going to beat us, it'd be a heck of a homecoming for them to come out on top.
Well, it's not over yet, 21-10.
That's right.
D-Ray, good having you with us. We're going to take about a 3-minute break, Steve, and we'll come back and get some scores from Steve DeGree after this break.
Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com.
The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit would like to take this time to remind everyone that drugs like marijuana, alcohol, prescription drugs, and inhalants are the drugs of choice among our teens. They break hearts, break homes, and destroy childhood dreams. It's not just someone else's child, it could be yours. If you're not talking to your children about drugs, doesn't it make you wonder who is? TAC and Cleveland County Transit would like to wish all of our Cleveland County school athletic teams good luck this year. Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware, everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise's Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Do you have a lot of old medications piling up? Most people do. Then get rid of them and do it safely. Drop off your old medications in the new medication drop box, now located inside Falston Pharmacy in Falston. All medications will be disposed of by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department. It's easy. Just clean out your medicine cabinet, bring them in the Falston Pharmacy, and just drop them in the box. And while you're there, get your Burns Bulldog football apparel. Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston. Comfortable just got more affordable. From Bill Schufert Heating and Air Conditioning in Shelby and American Standard. Keep cool this summer with one call to Bill Schufert Heating and Air and get up to $1,100 in rebates. Plus, ask about special financing available on famous American Standard equipment. Call 704-484-0025 or drop by their office at 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Get up to $1,100 in rebates now on American Standard. Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard, where your comfort is our concern. They've got it all at the bargain.
Back into the Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, and Dr. Craig Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show, and we appreciated D-Ray sitting in with us for a little bit there. We'll get him back on because I got to ask him an important question. But first, Steve DeGrees got some local scores for you, and Steve, read that list off to us.
Okay, we got over in Gamma Stadium, it's Kings Mountain, 14, Burns 0. Right at the halftime, it's Crest 41, T.C. Robinson 0. We have East Rutherford 21, East Burke 6, R.S. Central 21, Drawing 14, Lincoln 29, West Lincoln 7, East Gaston 28, Cherva 8, North Lincoln 14, Bessemer City 0, A.C. Reynolds 7, South Point 0. Then we have South Caldwell 7 and Macon 0.
Well, I don't know if there's a shocker there, but Crest 41-0 before halftime. Gosh, does anybody want a piece of them this year? Wow.
That's 2 consecutive games. Remember, the other game was a shortened game, which nobody scored on the Chargers. But I tell you what, their front 7 is just as good as anybody around. So I would take our front 7 once we get our thing together against Crest front 7, and we'll just see what happens. But I tell you what, those young men over there playing good. Coach Andy Roberts, coach defense. I talked to him. He was offensive line coach at Shelby, but he goes to Crest and coach the defensive line. He said he loved it.
Well, he's doing a good job of it because that Crest team is something else. And luckily, we don't have to play him for a few more weeks, and you can get all the kinks worked out. But they seem to be hitting on all cylinders now. That Kings Mountain Burns game, Burns again having some trouble getting points on the board. But Kings Mountain, they're off to a fast start this year.
Yeah, they had a lot of injuries last year. They got some great coaching over there. And the score has changed now, but I was on the headset because I got a person over there, Miss Jacqueline Currents. She giving me the scores at Burns, and I have my preacher, Reverend Dover, at the Crest game calling the scores in for me. So the score has changed at the Burns game, but I just don't know what the score is at yet.
Okay, we'll get an update from you in a little bit. Tell you what, Steve, let's take a 2-minute break. Now I'll get D-Ray back on here. I got to ask him a question, and give us 2 minutes, and we'll be right back here to Chase High.
Station Outlet in Shelby. Planning to travel this year? Then come see the big line of luggage. Need small appliances for the kitchen? They've got that too. How about toys for the kids? They've got a big stock of toys, plus jewelry and watches too. Like we said, they've got it all at the Bargain Station Name Brand Outlet. The Bargain Station Name Brand Outlet, located at 4400 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right next to Honda Motorcycles. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Don't forget the name, the Bargain Station Name Brand Outlet.
Beaver Dam Auto Auction is a family-owned and operated business that has been open for 32 years. Auctions are open to dealers and the public. Beaver Dam is located on 16 paved acres with 4 lanes under one roof. Sales are held every Wednesday at 7 p.m. with vehicle previews starting at 9 a.m. on the day of the sale. Beaver Dam Auto Auction, just off Highway 74 West at 107 Webb Road, Shelby. And dealers, bring titles and inspected vehicles to sell to the public and get rid of that old inventory. Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
Back to Allen Stadium here at Chase High School for the doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show. Kings Mountain's going up on Burns 21-0, but more importantly, I got D. Ray Allen back on the air. One of our halftime sponsors, Dr. Jim Wilson, sent me a text, and he says, D. Ray, what's the score of the ECU Carolina game going to be tomorrow?
All right, that's good, because I was a little bit nervous about this question. I wasn't sure where this was going. ECU's going to be a good team. We know they're a good team. I watched them play the other week. I mean, they got a pretty good little squad. I'm going to take Carolina 34-21. I think Marquise is going to prove himself tomorrow, because one thing that frustrates me as a Carolina student now is we're still going to Trubisky. So pick a quarterback and stick with him. We're going to stick with Marquise. We're going to run the ball effectively. I'm going to take us 34-21 in ECU.
All right, 34-21 over that high-powered ECU offense.
That's right.
You heard it here first, Dr.
Thanks, Dr.
Jim.
Wilson. Yeah.
Thanks, D-Ray. And that's going to wrap up our halftime show as Shelby's taking the field for a Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff, and Richard Wright's getting ready to tee it up. Coach, our Aura Supermarket players to watch in the first half on offense was Chad Reed. Chad ended up with 9 carries for 33 yards, but he had a 55-yard punt return for a touchdown that kind of put Shelby up by 2 scores there late. And good first half by Chad. And then our players to watch on defense were our defensive tackles. That would be Nick Terrell, Kent Clemens, and then Treshawn Borders. And those guys had a heck of a half, limiting Chase to 1 yard of total offense.
That's true, and I noticed the Chase quarterback Owens is running around here on the sideline, and so I expect Owens will be back under center to start the second half.
Good news for Trojan fans, and good to see that he's all right and run around. Right here, it's Richard Wright teeing it up for a Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff, and Wright puts foot to leather and drives this one deep, and that's going to be taken on the 1 yard line. The ball actually hits the goal line, and Kelly brings it out, and he slips down at the 6, maybe 7 yard line, and Shelby does just what you said, Coach. Great coverage on the first kickoff.
Well, I tell you what, Chase, that was unfortunate for Chase. If that ball touches the goal line, it's in the end zone, and that should not have been allowed to be taken out. And that was a heck of a jump to get his hands on the ball, but then he dropped it and it fell onto the goal line, and you can't say that the momentum of the kick didn't take it to the goal line. And if it touches the goal, that's the end zone, and that should have been blown dead. So Shelby was lucky on that one, and had great coverage on that as well.
Pitch to Kelly around the left side. He runs out of room to the sideline. He gets maybe a yard, if that, to the short side of the field.
And he made a heck of a run to get that yard. I mean, it looked like he was going to be stopped for about a 2 yard loss. And a really good block by one of the edge players for Chase. I didn't get his number, but that nice little block sprung him for the 2 yards. It actually sprung him for about 4 because he was going to lose 2 yards on that play.
Second down 9 from the 8. Shelby with a 4-man front and the trio of linebackers. And hand off to the fullback, and I believe that's Potlow. And he gets it to the 9, so another gain of 1, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Well, it will be interesting to see when Owens tries to pull that and run with it, how effective will he be in running? And so the first play was a pitch out. Second play was a dive to the fullback, and so now we're in 3rd and 7, and it'll be interesting to see what Chase is going to do. And what they're going to do is they're going to come out in the shotgun.
All right, gave him momentum to the 10, so that was a gain of 2. 3rd and 7. As you said, in the shotgun, and Shelby with a jailbreak, and it's a bad snap, and Owens is going to have to fall on it at the 2. Sack, I guess, get credited to Dax Hollifield. He was the first one in.
I'll tell you what, that was a low snap, and the quarterback's like, oh, my goodness, here I'm running around with a sore hip, and now I've got to fall on the ball, and people are going to be jumping on the ball. And so that is exactly what the Golden Lions wanted. That's exactly what I said the coaches were saying at halftime. We've got to get a 3 and out, get a good return. And so now the only thing we got to do for me to be a great fortune teller is we need a good drive and put a touchdown in the end zone.
Well, unfortunately, the Chase had gotten 3 yards of offense to get up to 4 total, and then they lost 8 yards on that play, so now they're in a -4 for the game.
The punt was how would you describe that? I mean, it was a grounder. It hit the ground at about the 28-yard line and rolled for about 14 more yards, and so Shelby's going to start on the Chase 41-yard line.
Yeah, it almost looked like it was off the side of the foot, but it didn't shank. It still kind of made its way up the middle of the field, so just ended up being a low, almost like a pass.
So it was a 39-yard punt.
But effective. So Shelby takes over at the Chase 41 in the T formation at running back. 2 receivers right, 1 left, and George with a quick throw catch by 6, Jaden Borders, and he gets 9.
And again, Jaden had to go up to catch that ball. Every pass that RJ's thrown to Jaden has been a little bit high, but that was a good enough throw. And oh my goodness, I think the official just signaled first down. Okay, they said it was a 10-yard reception.
And that puts Borders over the 100-yard mark for the game, and a Pegram Insurance first down for Shelby.
That's weird.
And Squire shows blitz, and he comes, and he's going to get to George, but George gets away, and he's rolling out to his right, and now the rush comes, and he's not going to elude it this time. 50, Jacob Rollins, 3, Tristan Abrams there. But it was Squires that got in there and made George scramble.
Now, it's second down.
We got 9 yards on first down, and they gave us a first down because we took over at the 41, and that and the line of scrimmage is a 32.
Yeah, but they gave us a first down, so it's second down and about 18 now for Shelby.
That's a shocker there. George back to pass, another quick hitter, complete the Borders. He's going to have to make it on his own this time. He breaks 1 tackle, but that's it.
Number 6, Jaden Borders on the reception.
A short gain there on second down and 18. He gets maybe a couple.
And again, that was a quick pass and get a quick one-on-one situation with Borders. But I have been very impressed with the tackling for the Chase Trojans tonight.
Pick up 2, 3rd and 16, and the blitz. And this time, Squires gets George. He gets away, but they blow it dead. Said he was in the grass.
Another excellent blitz that time, and RJ had nothing he could do. And there's that momentum now. Shelby had a first down, a real questionable first down, and next thing you know, it's 4th down and over 20. And that could be a momentum switch right now. And we've got to do a much better job to keep this from becoming the Big Mo switch.
Well, that was a 6-yard loss. And 2 sacks on that series of R.J. George, 1 for an 8-yard loss, 1 for a 6. And Richard Wright gets off a fabulous punt. It's going to have to be fair caught inside the 10-yard line at the 8.
So that's about a 37-yard punt with no return. And very, very good punt because Chase is going to start inside the 10, about the 8-yard line.
Well, is it John Fox that always said a punt's not a bad play? It's a good play sometimes, I think is what he said. And
That's
right
true.
there it was for Shelby. And Shelby's playing the old field position game right here to start the second half. And they're definitely the recipient of the better field position. Here Chase takes over at their own 8, 1st and 10. Owens is under center with Kelly and Squires. And it's Kelly in motion, but the handoff to the fullback. Actually, he pulls it out of the belly, and not wisely because Siobhan Miller grabs him and throws him down at the 5 for a 3-yard loss.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Shelby on week 3 of triple option, trying to defend the triple option, it has finally hit. Shelby has done an excellent job thus far. Now, here's the thing. Triple option, you can stop it for, 28 minutes and then all of a sudden give up 118 yards. So it's important that we continue doing what we're doing.
Squires comes off the field. Malik Young onto the field. But it's under center Owens and Shelby in the backfield, but Young makes Kent Clemens miss at the goal line and gets back out to about the 5. So he gets maybe the line of scrimmage.
And it's a good night for the defense when running backs are having to make tremendous moves to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And they gave Young a yard there, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12.
13 for the Trojans.
And let's see, actually it is about a 3rd and 13 if you look at the yard marker, but they got him marked at the 6. And he's only
6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Shelby leading 21-10. 3rd and long, Chase on their own 5-yard line.
They got Squires in the slot. I'm looking at him, and he's going deep, and he's overshot everybody by 10 yards. Coverage for Shelby by Damian Key and Joe Barnes. Good to see Joe Barnes out there.
Really good to see Joe out. He's been dealing with a number of different injuries, and so Chase again net loss of 3 yards on that series. So Chase is in negative yardage right now for the game.
Yeah, they're at -6, and that's not going to get it done when you're down 11. Punting from the end zone again is Chase. Shelby this time showing a little bit of a punt block situation, but it's a quick punt by Owens. Going to be bounced at the 40, and Chase will down it at the 43-yard line, and Shelby will take over there.
Ball will be spotted down at the 43.
6:02 to go, third quarter. Golden Lions 21, Chase 10. And Shelby takes over at the Chase, 43, after 2 great defensive stops to open the second half.
Be nice for the Golden Lions to get something going on this drive. This is the 2nd straight time we've started in Chase territory.
And George with a quick pass again, complete to Caleb Jolly, and he's slung down at about the 36-yard line, so that's a pickup of about 7.
And there's not a thing wrong with the 7-yard reception. And those quick passes, there's no way Chase can put pressure on George if he's throwing it quickly.
He's had success. He's hit Borders on a number of those tonight, and now he hits Jolly on one. So let's see if Shelby stays with that short passing game. 2nd and 3. And this is a handoff to Usher, and he's into the secondary. Actually, that's Day Brooks, the freshman, and he's inside the 15, actually inside the 25. And that's a Pegram Insurance first down at the 23-yard line.
And when you can make those quick passes and get Chase back on their heels and then run that ball right up the gut, those are good play calls. Shelby quickly up to the line. Chase wanted to make some changes, but they couldn't. And we're going to have a penalty for illegal procedure on the Golden Lions. I don't know what that was, but it was the first penalty in quite some time on the Golden Lions. Only the 4th penalty for the game. Crest High School is absolutely romping and stomping. They're up 48-0 over T.C. Robertson. Kings Mountain is now up over Burns 27-0.
1st and 15, handoff to Day Brooks, and he's into the secondary. 5-10, touchdown, the freshman, and he's in from 23 yards out, actually 28 yards out. And his first varsity touchdown puts the Golden Lions up 27-10, and a little bit of speed there, Coach?
A little bit of speed right there. Looked a little bit like his older brother.
Jaquavis, who graduated after his senior year last year for the Golden Lions, and like brother, as Day takes that one in from 28 yards out, and he carried it twice on that series for 41 yards, including that Ed Green Construction take it to the house touchdown run.
And he took it to the house, no doubt about it.
Richard Wright's extra point's good. Shelby leads 28-10, 5 minutes to go, third quarter, back in 30 seconds.
Keep cool this summer and save cash too with a new Train from Forest City Heating and Air in Forest City. Hurry in now and check out the great deals from Train. Now you can get 0% financing for up to 60 months on qualifying credit approval and qualifying equipment. Come into Forest City Heating and Air for all the details. Give them a call at 828-245-1379. That's 828-245-1379. Forest City Heating and Air, serving Cleveland County and Rutherford counties for over 30 years. Remember, it's hard to stop a train.
14-0, and they lead 28-10 over Chase. 5 minutes to go here, third quarter. And Coach, after a kind of a sluggish start, the Golden Lions, thanks really to the defense, really giving some good field position to the offense. Now the offense is starting to click like we'd hoped to see for the first 5 weeks. Wright's kickoff taken at the 4, and that's Malik Young. And he's got a decent return up across the 25 to about the 28.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a really nifty return that time. It looked like that Shelby's going to blow that up by big number 11, Darquez Lee, who's about as tough-nosed a backup quarterback as you'll ever see, came in and made a great hit on one of the blockers, and I thought he was going to blow that blocker up into the kick returner, but the returner made a nifty move and picked up about 8-10 yards after that. So Chase now is in business about their 28-yard line with 4:51 left in the third quarter. It's imperative for Chase to do something this time.
And the right tackle moves early.
The right tight end, he was going to go do something real quickly, and unfortunately too quickly, and so that's a 5-yard penalty. Now, one of the things, we hadn't had a lot of penalties tonight. Now, I just jinxed us by saying that, but there's only been 6 penalties on Chase and 4 penalties on Shelby, and the vast majority have been the 5-yard variety, and there's only been 2 penalties in this half.
Unfortunately, they marked off about a 5.5-yard penalty because they were at the 28. Now they're definitely at the 22. But first and 15, handoff to Squires around the end, and Garyon Addison there. He meets him at the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a half a yard.
I believe he lost another yard, and that, Brent Pasco, could you tell what play that was?
Well, it was some kind of buck sweep.
That was the buck sweep, and 28 buck sweep. And
I tell you, that was a heck of a collision between 2 pretty big dudes.
Yeah, it was. And again, no go. So that's second down and over 15. Again, a loss of at least 1. So second and 16 for Chase.
Second and long, and this is the fullback Phillips, and he doesn't get much either. He had to make another good run. He hurdled one Shelby player, broke one tackle, and then it was Garyon Addison and Clay Husky, and
he got a yard.
A couple other guys.
Growing up, I used to listen to Woody Durham, and that was one of those Carolina be playing football, and he would be talking about how he gets out of the tackle, he's loose, and he's going around, and he picks up a yard. And I thought, there's no way he did all that. Well, that's exactly what happened just then. I mean, we both thought he had 5 yards, and we looked up, he got a yard.
Third and 15. And it's Owens back to throw, and he's got a quick hitter to Squires over the middle. And he's got a good gain. I think he's about a yard shy of the first down. Needed 15, got about 14, maybe 13. Let's see the spot. That was a nice play, though.
It was. It's going to be 4th and 1. And I fully expect Chase to go for it right now because they really can't afford to turn it back over to the Shelby offense right now. And this is when I'd be going on 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. If I could do it, try to draw Shelby off sides. And it's going to be, it looks like where the sticks are, it looks like it's 4th and 3, but there's no way it's more than 4th and 1.
Yeah, it's, you go by the sticks, it's a couple of yards here at least. And timeout.
Nope, delay of game. Oh, my goodness.
Trojans. Wow.
And now they're going to have to truck the punt team on.
And that's just a big mistake there. I guess they're trying to consider, do you go for it or do you punt it, and then taking a little bit too long to think about it. Time ran off that play clock.
When it rains, it pours sometimes, and it is definitely raining hard for the Trojans. So 2:20 left, and the snap is back, and the punt is away.
It's an end-over-end kick, bounces at the Shelby 40, taken by Chad Reed. He splits the first 2, and he's to the 45, to the 50, and to the Chase 47, and a little bit of extracurricular activity, but no flags down. Again, number 5 with a good bit of all-purpose yards on that return as he takes it back about a 18-yard return.
35-yard punt, 18-yard return, so it's only going to be 17 yards on the net. So Shelby again starts off in Chase territory. All three drives have started on the Chase side of the field. The Chase, would you say that's a 47, Brent?
That's the 47. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see George Erwin out here with the momentum the way it is. Stick a quick one in going deep. He's got two receivers right and left. And he's got Dede Brooks in there at running back. And he's going. Well, he looked up top. Then he hits Jaden Borders on the sideline, and Borders makes two guys miss. One of them that missed is still on the ground, hurt.
Two of them,
and that's Whiteside's.
Two Chase players are on the ground, and I know we're going to have an injury timeout right now, Brent Pasco.
Yes, Steve Roberts, let's take a minute break. We got two Trojans down after that Borders shake and bake. 1 minute, we'll be right back.
It's Corks and Taps for Hospice. Thursday night, October 16th, at the LeGrand Center in Shelby. Corks and Taps is a special wine and beer tasting event and auction. And there will be special music by Swing 30 and the Black Coffee Trio, plus food provided by Smoke on the Square. Tickets are $30 in advance or $35 at the door and are available at Hospice of Cleveland County in Shelby, the Kings Mountain Hospice House, or the Hospice Store on East Marion Street in Shelby. For more information, call Hospice at 704-487-4677. Corks and Taps for Hospice, Thursday, October 16th.
Line. The first Trojan that was down was Trey Whiteside. He's up and back to the sideline on his own accord. He's looks like he's got a little bit of a stinger.
The other Trojan is definitely a cramp, and as I mentioned, Chase has so many people going both ways, and it's still somewhat muggy. It's not nearly as hot as it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it's still pretty muggy. And if you're playing both sides of the ball and you're having to go hard all the time, it's pretty easy to catch a cramp. And the Chase defense has been very, very active. And I tell you what, they have made Shelby work hard for their yardage. It's not been an easy game offensively. In fact, Shelby's got 21 points offensively. They got 7 points, on the special teams. Only 3 touchdowns, and they have started on the Chase 41, the Chase 43, the Chase 47, the Chase 39, and with all that, Shelby still only got 3 offensive touchdowns, and so you got to give some credit to this Chase defense.
They've been very good tonight against a really good Shelby offense. Now, once Shelby did score, they've been continuing to pour it on. So once Shelby figures something out, they've kept it up. Now, part of that is Chase's defense has been on the field all night long, and they're just simply wearing down a little bit. 2nd down, 5. Hand off to the freshman Brooks, and he's got 4. Well, actually, they gave that catch about 4 yards, so it was 2nd and 6.
So that's about a 5-yard run by Brooks. And so that's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Golden Lions, again, quickly over the football. 3rd down and a short 1.
And it's Brooks still in the ball game as Usry and Reed get a little bit of a break. Actually, Reed's in, I think, at one of the receiver spots, and he catches the pass, and he makes a move to the inside to the 30, 25, 20. Pegram Insurance first down at the 18-yard line. And that's a pickup of, nearly 20 yards for Chad Reed.
That was one sweet move right there. That was a 5-yard pass, and I don't know how Reed got through that. He went between 2 guys, and it was a thing of beauty. 15th first down for the Golden Lions. Quickly over the ball, snap back to George. Quick pass to the flat again to Borders. Borders is closing in on the Shelby record for receptions in a game, if he doesn't already have it.
That's his 11th catch. That one gets 9 yards to the 9, and it's going to be 2nd and 1. I love that play because he's got a little Steve Smith in him. He catches it, and then he gets an attitude.
Oh, my goodness. That's another 9-yard first down. They've given him a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal on the 8.
Wow.
Report to the bottom of the press box.
10-yard gain. And on first down, it's the freshman Day Brooks, and he gets to the corner. Touchdown.
Number 14,
Xavier Day Brooks from 8 yards out, and Shelby goes up 34-10. And the freshman looking good running the football right now.
Well, what Day did that time is he took it outside, and it worked out really well. I mean, he took it outside, and he was able to outrun everybody to the end zone. That's the same thing he did earlier this year against A.C. Reynolds and lost about 5 yards when he bellied that thing back out. And that's the difference between playing a 4A team in the second quarter and playing a 2A team that has another player down with a cramp right now. Vast majority of this 2A team playing both sides of the ball. And so Day Brooks made a good decision on that. So with 27.1 seconds left here in the third quarter, Golden Lions are up by a score of 34-10, and we're awaiting the point after touchdown. That's big number 88, who is Bruce Squires, who's played a little bit of everything tonight. He's been a tight end, he's been a halfback, he's been a tight end, and he's played about everything on defense as well.
Yeah, he had a great first quarter at the defensive end spot, and he just caught about a 14-yard pass a few minutes ago. Good snap, good hold. Richard Wright's kick is right through the upright. Shelby 35, Chase 10, 27.1 seconds left. Third quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. We'll be back for Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner. Are you ready? It's time to get ready with a stop at Future Energy Company in Shelby. Take a look at the line of Menneson vent-free gas logs, bringing you warmth, ambience, and convenience to your home. Plus, take a look at the Yodel and Lopi wood stoves. And remember, Future Energy Company does chimney cleaning, and they install and service gas logs. Future Energy Company, 130 West Graham Street in Uptown Shelby, open 10 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 1 on Saturday, online at futureenergyco.com.
Flags down on the extra point. After the extra point, we'll have to see what the penalty is. It's going to be assessed on the kickoff regardless. Might be maybe after the whistle unsportsmanlike. But an 8-yard Ed Green construction take it to the house touchdown run by Day Brooks has put Shelby up 35-10. Just a few seconds left here in the third period, and 35 unanswered points by the Golden Lions coach as they've got things clicking now.
Yeah, that's the 17th first down for the Golden Lions, and it's unsportsmanlike conduct on Chase, a little bit extracurricular after the kick, and so Shelby will now kick off from the 45-yard line. And this is a chance for Richard to, well, a couple of different things. He could try to kick that thing through the uprights just to see if he could. He could try some type of sky kick. If this game was still somewhat close, this is the time you can try an onside kick. Can't imagine that there'd be an onside kick right now with 27 seconds left.
But being a kicker and seeing how that ball is stationed, it almost looks like he's going to kick a grounder.
Oh my goodness, that's the worst possible thing. Oh gosh, we didn't describe what happened. He kicked the grounder, and the darn thing took a left turn and went out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So that's a legal procedure, and so the ball will now go into play
at the Chase 35.
Well, that's not right. It can't be the 35-yard line because it's so many yards from the spot of the kick. It's the 35 if you kick it from the normal spot. So I think the ball actually is going to be at the 20, I think. I mean, the penalty doesn't say the ball goes into play at the 35. It says it goes into play 25 yards away from the kickoff spot, I think. I could be wrong. We're about to find out. Because I know in college, if you kick it out of bounds, you kick off from the 35-yard line, the ball goes at the 30.
Well, let's see if they get the rule right. They're putting it at the 35-yard line. Actually, they're not. They're re-kicking it.
Well, all I can figure is the ball was going to be placed at the 20, and Chase figured, what the heck? let's try to get a return, because they hadn't.
So they're going to actually just call it a legal procedure on Shelby and back him up 5 and re-kick
Which it is. I mean, it's a legal procedure if you kick it out of bounds, and there is always the option to back it up 5 yards and kick again. My guess is, again, instead of the ball being placed at the 35-yard line, I think since the kick was from the 45, the ball was going to be placed at the 20. And so they're going to figure if he kicks it in the end zone, we're still going to get it at the 20.
All right. So I said he had the ball set up kind of funny for a grounder. Now he's going to kick it in the end zone. That's just my guess.
All right. We're all going to wait and see if Brent's right on this, because he sure was right on the grounder.
Well, it's another grounder. It's taken in the end zone. So 2 grounders in a row.
So after all that, it's going to be back at the 20, which I think is where it was going to be anyway. Okay, so we got 27.1 seconds left in the third quarter. Shelby leading 35-10.
That was a weird string of events, but when it's all said and done, it's just a touchback. Chase takes over. Owens in at quarterback. He's got Potlow at fullback. He's got Whiteside at one running back, and he's got Kelly at the other, and it's Potlow for no gain.
Actually, it was a really good fake to Potlow. Owens kept it and got no gain and got up really slowly.
All right, you are correct. So,
watching film, the first thing I watched was the Burns game, and I had no idea that Owens was not the quarterback to start with, and I was pretty impressed at how well he ran that triple option, and he does a nice job with the fake. Now, I guess I need to stop talking because that's the end of the third quarter.
And with the end of the third, Shelby up 35-10 on the Trojans. We'll be back in 1 minute for the fourth quarter. Back right after this.
Everybody knows a game is better with a goal. The goal is better with announcers. Goal! Announcers are better in the movies.
In a world with no plot.
Movies are better with fast cars. Cars are better when they take you to McDonald's. McDonald's is better with Coke. Coke is even better when it's $1. Get any size Coca-Cola soft drink or sweet tea for $1 at McDonald's. And it really doesn't get any better than that. The simple joy of better. At participating McDonald's, a la carte only.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions and sell parts as well. So if you have transmission trouble, see the experts, Hal Hamrick, Lyle Reynolds, and Jimmy Stepp at Shelby Transmission Specialists, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North in Shelby. Call 704-482-8756 for Shelby Transmission Specialist.
All right, back for fourth quarter action, and on the first play, it's a handoff to the fullback and no gain. Not sure if that's Potlow. It is Potlow. Actually, it is. So Potlow goes for no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 10 after 2 straight runs for no gain.
The Shelby defense, through 3 quarters, the Shelby defense came to play tonight, Brent Pasco.
They did. Chase on the 3 drives this half lost 5 yards in 3 plays, lost 2 yards in 3 plays, gained 3 yards, and has gotten 0 yards on this drive. And that's after having 1 total yard in the first half. So 5, 7, 4. I got -4 yards second half, -4, -3 for the game.
And it looks like Chase had about 12 players on the field, and they took a timeout.
All right, let's take a 30-second timeout break. We'll be back right after this.
I'm a faithful Kibo's customer. I like Kibo's. I get delicious Hunt Brothers pizza there, and it's so good. And their breakfast biscuits, they're great. Plus, I get my gas there. Then there's Coca-Cola, Sundrip, and Pepsi Colas. Oh my, the candy's good too. And of course, when it's hot, the hand-dipped ice cream, it's so good. Hey, it's even good in those cold days as well. Kibo's, my favorite place. It's located there at the Caution Light on Highway 226 North at Zion Church Road intersection, Shelby.
Back to Chase High. We've run one play of this fourth quarter. It was a no gainer by A.J. Potlow, and now it's 3rd and 10. Chase took a timeout, and now we're back with a 3rd and 10 play. 11-10 to go. It's a pitch, and then a double reverse to Kelly, and he's got run room, but he's got some blocking, and he's up close to first down yardage before he's knocked out of bounds. I think he's going to be shy by a yard.
If they call a late hit, that's ridiculous. That is the officials upset because Chase is struggling so much because he hit him in the field of play and tackled him 2 out of bounds, and they're going to call a personal foul because he tackled him.
It's a gain of 8 for Kelly. And then the penalty is another 15. And
we have a final
Chase will take over.
With a final score RS 30.
1st and 10.
14.
30-14 RS overdrawn. It's Crest 55-0 over TC Roberson, and they've got the continuous clock going on that one, as you could imagine.
That is the second first down for Chase in the game.
Via a 15-yard penalty, and it's 1st and 10 at the Chase 43. And in the shotgun is Owens, and he's back, and he's got the screen set up, and that's complete to Squires. And let's see if he can outrun the defense. He gets away from 1, but then Damian Key takes him down, and that's a gain of about 4. So good coverage by Shelby.
Good coverage by Shelby, and again, we got a 15-yard penalty for tackling a guy. That one bothers me.
Second catch for Squires. He was shaken up on that extra point a moment ago, but he's back now.
2nd down and 6 for the Trojans.
2nd and 6, and gosh, with a spot, it's almost a 2nd and 7. So credit to Damian Key for running down Squires, who was wide open on that screen pass. Chase late with a receiver into the game. That's Pryor, but he's there, and then the left tackle moves early.
I don't know if that could be on Darquez Lee, who was stunning, and the tackle moved. If this was college or pro, that's definitely on the defense, and it is. It's going to be a penalty on Darquez Lee because he showed a stunt, and as he ran toward the line, the left tackle stood up, and that's one of those changes from the old-fashioned days. You know, it used to be the defense could do anything, and they could stand on their head, they could cut flips. It didn't matter. If you moved on offense as an offensive lineman, it didn't matter what they did. But now the rules have changed so much, and I think it was a good call. But wait a minute.
They've waved off the flag. I don't know what they're doing. He picked up the flag, waved it off, but then he motioned again off sides, but the down marker hasn't moved to the new spot. Now it has. It's 2nd down and 1.
Okay.
From the Shelby 49. Shotgun Owens, and he airs one out deep. Only one there is Shelby's Delvin Mitchell, one of the captains for tonight's game, and he picks it off. Interception. Golden Lions.
So that's going to put Shelby back into business on their.
All right, fans, get your half and half tickets ready.
Not a great pass by Owens that time.
Now, wait a minute.
Winner of tonight's drawing will win $395.
They tackled him on the 23-yard line, and they're going to put the ball down on the 17.
3-8, 2-5-7.
Did they not tackle him on the 23-yard line, Brent?
Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to what yard line they were on.
All right.
If you have the winning ticket.
Now, did he touch the ground? I don't know. New quarterback in for Shelby, I think. No, it's still George. Excuse me. And looky here, on the run, all the way out to the 47-yard line. Who is that?
Number 5,
Chad Reed.
Chad Reed, don't you remember him? He's played a few downs for the Golden Lions.
He hadn't been in for a few series. It's been the freshman, so he takes it from the 17 out to the 47. 42, 41. What's that? 24 yards. And a Pegram Insurance first down
So it'll be first and 10
for the Golden Lions.
At the 41
Reed's
yard
first
line.
carry of the second half. And snap over George's head, and he's going to have to fall on it all the way back at the 33. So just when Shelby was really looking like they had gotten their act together, bad snap. Now that I look, though, it looks like the whole offensive line is new faces.
It is, and yeah, that's one of those examples where George is going to have a big negative yardage, and it's not really his fault. I'll tell you what he did do. He fell on that ball instead of trying to pick it up, and it was a pretty difficult ball to corral. And so you got to give some credit to George to get on that ball.
Loss of 8, and now it's the blitz from Whiteside. He gets away, but now he's got 4 guys chasing him, and he throws it out of bounds.
And that should be and it is.
It's an intentional grounding.
That's an intentional grounding. Now, if this was college or pro, he was outside the box. He threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage, but that does not matter in high school. In high school, there has to be a receiver someplace in the area, and so that is a good call. It's a 5-yard penalty on top of the spot, so Shelby's going to be third down and a pretty expensive taxi cab ride if you're in New York City.
Well, this one's easy because they got to get to the Chase 49. They're on their own 19, so it's 3rd and 32. Loss of a lot. George back. He's going to air one out. He goes way up top and way overthrows everybody on the field. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and a mile.
8 minutes left in the game right now. The perfectionist not happy with that drive, but again, you're going to have those things happen sometimes when you got that new offensive line in there. We had a nice run, then we had a bad snap, and then we had pressure on the quarterback, and the pressure led to the intentional grounding. But again, with a senior quarterback, you hope that he wouldn't make that mistake, but he was trying just to get rid of the ball to keep from having a sack. Snap back, punt away, and it's one of the least awesome punts that Richards had, but he got a nice little 10-yard roll afterwards, so he's going to end up with what's going to be a 41-yard punt, but again, that thing didn't turn over, and that's one of the lesser punts that Richards had. Although all that really matters is the official yardage. So he's had, in fact, that's the best punt he's had yardage-wise tonight. He's had a 35, a 37, and a 41. So 7:46 left in the game. Chase with the ball on their own 40-yard line. Shelby leading 35-10.
And it's Owens under center, and he hands off to Potlow, and actually it's a 5-yard gain for Potlow. One of the best runs on first down or all night.
Yeah, there were 2 good runs that Chase had the first time they had the ball, and since then it's been just caddy bar at the door. Golden Lion defense has really looked good, and again we're getting a lot of new faces, a lot of clean uniforms in there for the Golden Lions on defense, which is as it should be.
And 2nd and 5 is Potlow. He's hit immediately, and to his credit, he drags Zach Hollifield for a couple of yards, gets 3. Good hit by Hollifield, though.
Yeah, it was, and it was a perfect read by Hollifield. Linebackers are watching guards, they're watching tackles, and if they see an opening, they're to fill it. And the opening came. Hollifield went in there hard and got a good hit, but as you said, it was a good run by the Chase running back. So Chase trying to get their 3rd first down of the game.
Shelby might be lined off sides, but no calling. It's a quick hitter, complete to Kelly, and he's bouncing in and off of Shelby guys. Tackle made all the way downfield by Will Stites, another freshman in there, along with, who's that number just got up? 47. No, 41.
41,
Devin
Smith, and 27. Joe Barnes was in on that as well. Again, that's the third first down. Chase has a first down running, a first down due to penalty, and a first down due to passing.
25-yard reception.
6:15 left in the game. Jet sweep. Shelby's got that dead to rights, and it's going to be another loss.
I tell you who's had a heck of a game quietly. How about Damian Key?
Damian Key has had, and Damian Key is making a big push for Defensive Player of the Game. And again, once we get the stats from Jim and Bob, we may find out that somebody else had 116 tackles. I have tried, and I just am not able to keep up with the defensive stats, even though I have tried. And if anybody wants to keep defensive stats for us, give Brent Pasco a call.
Quick pass intended for Malik Young, incomplete. And it's 3rd and 13, and he's had a great game. He really has.
He really has, and he's forced backs into having to back up. He's made a couple of really nice, basically 2-on-1 plays where he's defeated the blocker and then made a tackle in an open field. He's done a really nice job, and Dax Hollyfield has had a good night. He's made several tackles, and the defensive front has been strong all the way across.
And it's Young in motion, and then calling his own numbers Owens, but then he's going to throw it tipped by either Stites or Lee, Darquez Lee.
I think it was Stites, but hard to say. Again, tremendous pressure from the get-go, and did have an open man in the flat, but again, the ball was knocked away, and we're going to give Will Stites credit for that. Steve DeGree has now volunteered that he's going to keep up defensively for us, and that'll help us a lot.
No doubt about it. And
Steve, I've got a defensive sheet that you can use. I just have not had enough concentration defensively trying to talk about what I've seen and writing it down at the same time.
Michael Carson in at defensive end for Shelby. And Owens back on 4th down. He airs one out. He's going deep and almost picked off again by Delvin Mitchell. But it falls incomplete. Shelby takes over on downs.
Gotta expect to see Darquez Lee now at quarterback. Shelby's going to take over on their own 30-yard line, leading 35-10, 5:03 left in the game.
So Shelby takes over at the Chase 30, or excuse me, at their own 30.
Yeah, for a great deal of the second and third quarters, everything was on the Chase side of the field. And
it is Darquez Lee.
Yeah, Darquez Lee, and he's flanked by Day Brooks.
And the handoff is to Brooks, and he's all the way out to the 35. He's tripped up at the 37.
I'll tell you what, he was one shoestring tackle away from maybe taking that to the house, Brent Pasco.
Well, he's hard to describe. He's super lightning fast, not very big. He's kind of, imagine Chad Reed is a hybrid of Buck Ushery and Day Brooks, where Day's got a little bit more speed and Buck a little bit more strength and size, and Chad's kind of a hybrid of the two. So it makes for 3 different style backs, which is kind of nice to have. Brooks bounces this to the outside, and is he going to beat him to the corner? He does. He gets out to first down yardage and a few more. He's out to the 43-yard line. First down, Golden Lions.
The 19th first down for the Golden Lions. Golden Lions, 19 first downs, Chase 3 first downs.
And see, right there is one of those that looks like he had about 2 yards, and he gets set. He got 4. He got 8 as he got to the corner. And a good night by the freshman running back. 1st and 10, and it's going to be Brooks again, this time over the right side, and he's got good yardage again, out to the 50. Hurdles the guy, but tackle made by 17. Don't have that number on my roster either, but nice tackle.
That's McSwain. That's McSwain.
Okay. Brooks out to the 50, so that's a pickup of 6.
McSwain playing for Chase. That's hard to imagine for anybody that remembers Chuck and Rodney McSwain. You talk
Chuck,
about,
I believe, is still on the coaching staff for Chase.
42, Eastburg 18 is the final.
2nd down, 4. 3:25 to go.
Whoa,
snap
ball
way over
the
Darquez
quarterback's
Lee's, and he's going to have to go way back and fall on it all the way back at the 23-yard line. That's a loss of 27 yards.
And so Darquez Lee is going to get credit for one rush for negative 27, and that's when statistics will, will really, really not give the full picture of what happened. So there's inside of 3 minutes left. Shelby now faces third and, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, third and 30.
Yeah, it also goes against the team rushing stats, so that doesn't help either. Third down and a mile.
Clock ticking down. We're down to almost to 2.5 minutes left.
Empty backfield. Lee's back. He's going to step up and air one out, and he's got Dede Brooks right through the hands.
That was a really well-thrown ball, and that's a difficult catch. I mean, Dede's running downfield, and he's looking over his head, and the ball comes down and goes between his hands. And so if Dede had caught that, he would have taken it to the house.
Well, it's just one of those, you got a guy that's not, caught the ball much. All year he hasn't had a catch. So you got a guy running a pattern that's not normally out there, it wasn't even over the shoulder. It was right over the middle of the head. So
what a great throw, though. That was a really nice thrown ball.
And Richard Wright making up for you getting on him for not turning the last one over.
He kicked that 50 yards. That ball was 50 yards, and it was returned for 5.
Well, that time, it's a good kick when you kick it and the return man catches it running the other way like he's catching a pass.
Yeah, a 50-yard punt, and so Richard Wright's over 40-yard punting average is now safe because with 2:08 left, I can't imagine that Shelby will have to punt again. Again, 2:08 left in the game. Shelby leads 35-10.
Out there for Shelby, Chance Reynolds at linebacker, Darquez Lee at linebacker, 41, Devin Smith at one corner, Joe Barnes at safety, Damian Key still out there at linebacker, Will Stites is in at linebacker, Caleb Jolly's at a corner. Quick pass out the flat, caught. Whitesides, and what about Nick Stites? What a tackle.
Great play. For no gain, maybe a loss of a half yard. And, again, just one-on-one. And Will Stites makes the play, and that's another freshman. Golden Lions playing a number of freshmen. Darquez Lee, who's doing an excellent Paul Jeffords imitation. For you guys that aren't old enough to remember that, Paul Jeffords started at quarterback and played middle linebacker for the Golden Lions in 1989.
Second down, 10. 1:30 to go, clock running. Hand off to the fullback, and actually it's a great fake by Owens. Nice tackle by 87 Michael Carson. Too bad he tackled the guy that didn't have the football.
And that is the 4th first down for the Chase Trojans. And again, you got to be impressed with the ability to carry out that fake. And the reason that we tackled the fullback is because he had the ball. And when the tackle was made, the quarterback was able to pull that thing out, and he made a nice run. And I'm so glad to see that Owens was not hurt worse than he was, because he's a very important part of that Chase offense right now. Ball over right guard for about a 3-yard gain, and we're inside a minute now, 51 seconds. Clock is still ticking. Shelby leads 35-10.
Nice tackle by Cam Hawk. He's getting some good playing time tonight. That defensive tackle, defensive end, actually. Pickup of 2 for Potlow, 2nd and 8. And we're down to where this may be the last play of the ball game. And Owens back to pass, and it's complete. Out in the flat, that's number 18. Don't have that number, Tyrese Wright. And that's all the way to the Shelby 40.
5th first down for the night. 18.3 seconds left. Chase trying to score now to make it somewhat more respectable. Shelby leading 35-10.
That was a pickup of 14 and a first down.
Chase is going to have to hurry to get this next play off. We're inside 10 seconds, and Chase just now making their way to the line of scrimmage.
5 to go in the game, and guys are in the wrong spot. They may get this play off. They do. And back to pass. Wow. Almost complete to 27, Chase Lovelace, but a big hit from Joe Barnes knocks it out, and that's the ball game, folks. Shelby wins 35-10. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back for our post-game show to wrap it up here from Chase High. Back in 3 minutes.
Summertime. Kids in and out of the house, pets bringing in all types of creatures inside with them, and you wondering how in the world are you going to keep your carpet clean. Keys Carpet and Floor Covering in Shelby has some great carpet cleaning products, but if you need new carpet or floor covering, they have great prices too, with professional installation. So don't you get the summertime blues. Put the top down and chill out with a stop at Keys Carpet and Floor Covering, 1162 East Marion Street in Shelby, your floor covering headquarters in this area. There's some great new menu items at Newt's on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Try their Green Man Burger, or the new Cheddar Jalapeno Burger, or the new Sliders. Other new items at Newt's includes a Fuse Burger, Pam's Adobo Dog, and a big new chef salad. And be sure to ask for the $6 Burger of the Day. Create your own burger or build your own salad at Newt's, 116 East Warren Street, located on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Want to cut your cooling costs this summer? With a highly efficient York air conditioning system, you can save up to 50% on energy costs while enjoying more consistent temperatures throughout your home. Call Settle Heating and Air, your local York dealer at 704-481-1788 and schedule a free evaluation of your system and learn how you can move up to a new level of comfort and efficiency this summer. Call Settle Heating and Air and settle in with comfort this summer, or visit the website at settleinwithcomfort.com. Soulful Southern fare with a flair. That's Smoke on the Square in Uptown Shelby. Make your next dinner out at Smoke on the Square in historic Uptown Shelby. Great starters and appetizers, along with soups and salads. For dinner, there's seafood, pasta, beef and pork, house-cut steaks and signature steaks, and chicken too. And their sides are out of this world. For a full menu, visit them online at smokeonthesquare.com. Smoke on the Square, the Southern Low Country cuisine and steakhouse. Located at 5 East Marion Street, Uptown Shelby. The Red Hot Summer Sale is underway at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Hurry on in now for red hot deals with down payments started at only $699. And pick up this week's What's Up Shopper and play the S&R Auto Sales Weekly Trivia Sports Question Contest. You could win a $10 bill certificate from the clock. For a full list of inventory, visit S&R Auto Sales online at srautosales.com or call 704-487-0570. S&R Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby, the home of the satisfied customer.
At Shelby Medical Associates, we provide comprehensive medical care for the adults of Cleveland County and the surrounding area. We have a full-service lab, a sleep lab, and an x-ray department, including bone density scanning, ultrasound, and digital mammography. At Shelby Medical Associates, we provide compassionate, professional care for our patients both in the office and in the hospital. For an appointment, call 704-482-1482. Shelby Medical Associates. Doctors for Adults. A proud sponsor of the Crest Charger Injury Report in 2012.
Well, you're absolutely correct, and let's try to recap. This game was very familiar to the last time that we came up to Chase, with the strange schedule changes where we went to RS 2 straight years. We went to East Rutherford 2 straight years, and Chase came to Shelby 2 straight years. But the last time we were here in 2011, Shelby pulled out a victory at 37-23, and if memory serves correct, Shelby was down 2 scores in that game, and were in some serious danger, and they righted the ship and came back to win 37-23. The Shelby defense, I mean, what do you say about the Shelby defense, Brent Pascal? I mean, they had a great game tonight, and I know that Coach David Devine and the entire defensive staff has been working as hard as they can to try to take care of some issues that have happened over the past 3 weeks. And I would say that mission accomplished this week, because Shelby goes up against a team that runs a pretty darn good triple option and completely shut them down. As long as the Shelby first defense was in, I think Chase was close to negative yards for the night. But defense did great. And even though the defense did great, though, Shelby threw an interception on the first series. Chase ran that back for a touchdown. And then Shelby went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. And then Shelby punted the ball, and Chase returned it back to the Shelby 20. And so Chase is up 7-0. They've got all the momentum. They got 1st and 10 at the Shelby 20-yard line, and the Shelby defense said no more. Stopped them, forced a long field goal. Shelby was down 10-0 early in the second quarter. From that point onward, it was all Shelby. And I will now, having said all that, I'll go over the Okies Tire game recap. The scoring opened up with 6:55 left in the first quarter. Austin Smith took a 60-yard interception return in for a touchdown. Omar Jimenez's extra point made it 7-0 Chase. With 10:16 left in the first half, Jimenez had a 37-yard field goal. Chase led 10-0. With 8:19 left in the first half, Borders had a 12-yard touchdown pass from George. Wright's point after made it Chase 10, Shelby 7. With 3:52 left in the first half, Devin Gillette hauled in a 35-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after made it Shelby 14, Chase 10. With 1:54 left in the first half, Chad Reed had a 55-yard punt return. Wright's point after made it Shelby 21-10 at half. With 5 minutes left in the third quarter, Xavier Day Brooks had a 28-yard touchdown run. Wright's point after made it Shelby 28, Chase 10. And with 27 seconds left in the third quarter, Brooks had an 8-yard touchdown run. Wright's point after made it 35-10. Shelby had 19 first downs and 1 turnover. Chase had 5 first downs and 1 turnover. And so that's how we got to the final score of Shelby 35, Chase 10.
Well, it was a good night for the Shelby offense and defense. It just took about 14 minutes for it to start. Chris McDaniel, Allstate Insurance stat sheet for your Golden Lions. Chad Reed, 10 carries, 57 yards. Day Brooks, 9 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Buck Ustry, 3 carries, 7 yards. R.J. George, 9 carries, minus 32. And Darquez Lee, 1 carry, minus 27. Shelby with 84 yards on 32 carries, a couple of touchdowns, but 59 yards of sack yardage, added to that total. R.J. George, 16 of 28. 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jaden Borders, 11 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown. Cavassier Shell, 2 catches, 59 yards. Devin Gillette, 1 catch, 35 yards, and that was a touchdown. Chad Reed, 1 catch, 20 yards, and Caleb Jolly, 1 catch for 7 yards. Shelby with 322 total, 84 rushing, 238 in the air. For Chase, leading rusher, DeAndre Kelly, 4 carries, 21 yards. A.J. Potlow, 6 carries, 15 yards. Trey Whitesides, 1 carry for 1 yard. Stephon Phillips, 4 carries, 0 yards. Bruce Squires, 4 carries, minus 5. Malik Young, 2 carries, minus 8. Gus Owens, 10 carries, minus 9. So 15 yards on 31 carries for Chase. And in the air, Owens was 6 for 13. For 61 yards with 1 interception. Leading receiver catch-wise was Squires with 2 catches for 17 yards. Kelly had 1 catch for 25 yards. Zach Anderson, 1 for 5 yards. Whiteside's 1 for 0, and I didn't have the number for 18, but he had a catch for 14 yards. So 76 total yards for Chase. A lot of it on the last drive of the game. Up to there was a point in the fourth quarter when they had -4 total yards. So great job by that Shelby defense. But more importantly, Shelby moves to 4-1 and 2-0 in the conference, 2-0 against 2A opponents in conference, and move on to live another day with the streak.
The streak. Well, it's wonderful from the Shelby perspective to be able to say that streak continued. And as I said earlier today, it's a lot more fun to talk about the streak now that I'm not coaching anymore. So you got to say, again, congratulations to the Golden Lion defense. They really came up big tonight. And Chase was really moving and, had that big interception return for the touchdown. Did a really good job for the first quarter and a half against the Golden Lion offense. I mean, Shelby was really struggling. Chase was stunning perfectly, making big plays, and it was a really tough go for the Golden Lions. But the defense kept it close, and then the offense woke up. And so what can you say? A good win for the Golden Lions, 2-0 in the conference, and they will now have a massively big game next week, the Battle of Buffalo Creek, featuring two teams that are undefeated in the conference, Kings Mountain undefeated overall. And this is the first time in a while that we've had the Battle of Buffalo Creek looking this way, don't you think, Brent?
Yeah, I would say this is the biggest that game's been in quite some time. Shelby will host that game this year. We've seen a lot of weird things happen in that game over the years, but no doubt about it, that's a big game next week for several reasons. Our players of the game tonight, I'll let you give them out. I'll give you the sponsor. Special Teams Player of the Game, sponsored by Enloe Mortuary.
Well, Chad Reed with a big 55-yard punt return that made it go from 14-10 to 21-10, and you could pretty much see the wind start to go out of the Chase sails after that one. So Chad Reed, Richard Wright again having a great night, but Chad Reed had the big play.
Offensive Player of the Game, sponsored by Carolina Energies.
Well, we thought that Xavier Day Brooks had a nice coming out party tonight with his rushing yardage, and he could really add something else special, especially with Buck Ushery having to play as much defense as he's been playing. It would be good to be able to let Buck do just a little more defensively and use Day on offense.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, some of Shelby's good runs here of late. They've had a guy come on midseason that kind of added another weapon. Darrell Russell comes to mind a few years ago. We had Wesley Hillman one year. We had Gerald Jennings one year. A guy that, just kind of got a chance, and wow, yep. he came through and looked pretty good. You could even say Jaquavis Brooks a couple of years ago was that guy. So good to see another weapon and a big play guy like Daddy Brooks come out with 79 yards, 2 touchdowns tonight, averaging 9 yards a carry and doing so. Defensive Player of the Game, sponsored by J. Morgan Company.
Well, we thought that, and again, the worst thing that we do is try to keep up defensively, but it seemed like every time we looked up, Key was making a great play. And so we felt that he's definitely the Defensive Player of the Game. Yeah,
the whole D-line played great tonight, but Damian Key just stood out. Several plays, and not just losses, like 9-yard loss kind of plays. A great game. Damian Key, our Defensive Player of the Game, sponsored by J. Morgan Company. And then our overall Player of the Game, sponsored by S&R Auto Sales. And, you could look at Georgia's stats, but Jaden Borders, 11 catches, 117 yards, touchdown. It was his coming out party tonight as well.
Yeah, and we've been, a lot of us have been kind of wondering, when we would see Borders get a lot of receptions, and we did tonight. And it'll be interesting to see if that is a record, because I don't know how many times we've had 11 receptions in a game. So, but Jim and Bob will get us up to date on that one.
Yeah, we'll do that. And with that, wrapping up our Players of the Game, we're going to wrap up our post-game show and send it over to the guys in studio. And next week, on the air at 7 o'clock. It's the Battle of Buffalo Creek over at Shelby High with Jeff and I and Steve Degree in tow. And Austin Bishop with us tonight, rode up with us from Shelby. He did our camera work, so we thank Austin for that. You're seeing the Chase band play, and with the band playing, we'll take it to the house and send it over to the guys, Tom and Steve and Dennis and company. For Jeff Jones, Austin, Steve, this is Brent Pasco signing off.
The girls at Standridge Auto Parts in Shelby, Stacy, Deidre, and Jody, invite you in for their giant, sizzling hot battery sale. Buy your next interstate battery at Standridge